Welcome back to day 2. I am BCL, joined by DannySalads.
There we go.
And we are hopping right into today's matchup. Sunday, it is a best of 5 CDL traditional series. You're going to see a lot of names that we recognized from yesterday. And right off the bat, the one thing I noticed, we're in a 3v4 right now.
You know, as a professional Call of Duty player myself, I don't think playing in 3v4 is good for the team with 3 people.
Exactly.
I think a 4th person is really good.
Okay.
Now it's actually a 2v4, and this actually swings the odds back into the team with 2 just a little bit. It's this thing called doubling up, and the team kill we see a common strategy to try and again a 1v4 now. Now it's going to be pretty hard, and you know. Well, 4v0. Game's over.
On the bright side, at least we get to actually introduce ourselves and talk about today's tournament instead of jumping into this right away. So one thing you may have noticed before, of course, the Hornets all disconnected. You're going to see some college names under or over all of our player names.
Yep.
Now, this does not mean these players are committed to those schools. These are just for our schools that are active in the Discord to give them a little attention and say, hey, these guys have some pretty talented COD programs. And so, again, shout out to the colleges that are helping us out today, and you're going to see those names as we go throughout. But again, I am BCL, captain of Syracuse COD, and joined by DannySalads, caster for...
That's
Is
right.
there anything you don't cast here?
League of Legends.
League of Legends?
Which we don't do.
Exactly. So you do a little bit of everything. He is the pro caster.
That's
I'm just here to tell him the callouts he doesn't know.
Yeah, because I have this little thing up here. It's a map with every single call out. I don't know. And which is all of them. I know a few. I know on sub AC, you know, we got Top Snow.
Yeah.
We got AC. Okay. We got the Submarine.
Yeah. And how many hard points?
5. See, I'm a professional. Look, here's let me tell you, beginner's guide to Call of Duty, because I'm a beginner, right?
Yep.
Everybody watching this, you're probably not a beginner if you're watching the U18 COD.
Yeah, they're in.
But there's 5 hard points. Got to go to them. Got to sit on them.
Okay.
And that is my take on Call of Duty.
Great. Today, the maps we're going to be looking at, again, each of these teams is all randomly assigned. So just a few minutes ago, they logged onto the website and saw, hey, these are my teammates, added them on Activision, and hopped into a lobby. So while I'm sure these guys have been warming up all morning, they have not been warming up with their teammates. So definitely something to see today. Coming off of yesterday's 2v2, that was a lot more individual focus, seeing what players can do. Some big names we got from that: Big Steppa, Icons, Collision. Shoddy had some great plays. So we're going to see some of them in this 4v4 today. But again, today is really showing what these players can do in a team setting. So a little more valuable than just what can they do on Rust or something like that. What are you really looking for today?
I think that today you kind of see what these people are made of in a team setting. Because, you know, yesterday we saw that people can frag. We saw people with some nice movement, some nice job, like rotating around these little like one-on-one isolated gunfights. But none of that matters if you're not playing smart, if you're not rotating early, if you're not holding good angles, if you're being careless. That's gonna shine today. Whereas yesterday, you almost a little bit of like you could overcome that a little bit because it's 2v2 on these tiny maps. You don't really need to be that good from like a macro standpoint. So I think yesterday, like micro and macro, yesterday we saw a lot of micro, saw these people's talents. I think today we're going to see a lot more of how they like actually play the game that they play in colleges, right? You don't, collegiate COD is not 2v2 on me. It's this. It's CDL game rules. It's a best of 5. And it's also cool to see, I think, how these players kind of deal with playing with people they don't normally play with. I'd be interested to kind of see like how these players are coming, how they're treating each other, who's kind of taking lead, who's doing what. Because I think that provides information to these colleges who are looking for kind of the next generation of players.
Yeah, and that's one thing with me in the U18 COD League, kind of helping with the recruitment process. I lead workshops, and that's one thing we're going to be talking about in our workshops this year. It's the out of the map thing. It's how are you as a person. Of course, we care about your stats on the map and things like that, but how are you going to respond to being thrown into maybe a substitute situation or being thrown into a group that you're not really familiar with? That's a big part of college COD, and so we can see some of those things today. One of the things I think we're going to struggle with that I hope directors at home are trying to keep note of is that hill time. We're not seeing the hill time actually on the Codcaster. But if you're not fragging, you can stay down in hill. That's very valuable.
Yeah, that's what I do, right? I play on keyboard and mouse, and all I do is I just go on the hill and I sit there.
Yeah.
And my teammates love me.
So we are actually in the game now. We got Die, Twitch, Secret, and Markel versus Skiv, who was an emergency sub yesterday. We'll talk more about that. Are We Legal, Spockful, and Skill. So again, both of these college names at the top, not affiliated with the players in any way, just affiliated with the league. So here we are. You see on the bottom of your screen the blue team. So Hornets kind of had a straight line right there set up. And now they're working over trying to get this P2. It's a close game P1. But again, Daniel, you're new to this. But even you know P1 doesn't matter. It's always P2.
That's what they're saying. And that's the approach that this Syracuse team is taking. And it's not like they also got completely shut out and let the Hornets get a full 60, right? 25-13. And they were able to rotate there early. Hornets, though, I mean, try their best. And they're able to kind of formulate a push here and take this point.
Yeah, all blue in the kill feed right now. Maybe sad for us actual representatives of Syracuse. But again, being casters, we are non-biased. And now kills are going the way of Syracuse. Spockful going to work his way in. But Fall, Are We Legal, going to pick up the trade and soak up some of that time.
Great job, team. We're coming together. Feel like you, especially in this P2, you got to come at it from different angles to kind of discombobulate the people on the point.
Yeah. This sub-base, a map that has kind of been reworked throughout the season with different hard points and obviously the spawn systems, but taking a map 1 in this is huge. Not only are you up 1-0, we're going into Rio next, and that is something a lot of these players might not be familiar with.
Completely new map. I am not familiar with Rio, yeah, you definitely want to take this one. This is the one that people are comfortable on. So whoever wins this is definitely going to look good. And I mean, if you win Rio, then you're up 2-0.
Exactly. Speaking of these new hills, the new P3 is in the back of next to Warehouse and behind where the original P4 was. So we're going to see the spawns get tricky here. We're going to see if the Hornets can hold this out, make sure none of Syracuse is spawning behind them, and that's what it's looking like so far. Secret, looking for these players in front of them, just going to get gunned. Skill and Are We Legal working their way into the hill, and Skill on the front has kind of a pinch here. Going to get gunned by Twitch, is going to find 2, and then another one goes the Hornets' way. They're taking a pretty decent lead right here.
They are. They're doing a great job shutting down Syracuse as they try and come in on this rotation. As we see here, Secret just kind of being a nuisance in mid. If you can just stay alive there, you pretty much cut off an entire way that they can get onto this point. If you're in the middle and you're still alive, like Secret is, just fragging 9 and 4, you can't really get in because you can just have the other 3 people on your team holding the other entrance.
Exactly. Across the map we go as we can see Syracuse, all 3 of those members that are up or around the hill. Hornets having to make their way across the map. Skiv is up top 3rd. Let's see what he can find here. Spockful gonna find one. Skiv gonna fall to die. And now Twitch is gonna work his way into the hill, find one through the railings, but again, Are We Legal on that back heady with that MCW, a gun that's gonna play much of a bigger role than it did yesterday.
Yeah, as we can finally see, we get into these normal CDL maps with playing the real game. These MCWs are just going to be so strong, and Are We Legal sitting up on that heady with that gun? It's so hard to take him out. You have to put so many resources into it. You're pretty much going to lose a straight up 1v1, and that's what we're seeing here. Markel's trying his best, but he does find skill, but I mean, he's not going to find enough and with enough time to be able to come in on this point.
Yeah, Secret doing good with the slang, but nobody doing no outliers so far in terms of the gun skill. But again, as we said a lot yesterday, the gunny doesn't matter. It's the top numbers that matter. 111 to 57 right now. Hornets with a bit of a dominating lead, but if you put together a 60 or 2, this is a brand new game for Syracuse. Go ahead.
I think this point is really interesting. I like it in the back. I feel like it's like P1, but it's a little bit better because you have these 2 buildings on either side. You have the warehouse and you have the P2 building. This thing to play around. I really like seeing how people approach this.
Yeah, exactly. Warehouse is vital. Warehouse control is vital. The top, the bottom, wherever you want to go. And Skiv is going on a little bit of a flank. Gonna find one in the back. Working his way up, a little bit paranoid, making sure nobody's up top there, and we have a white hill right now, no team control, but top snow is going to go to the way of Skiv. Skiv sees someone top P2, going to get that slate reflector up and looking over. Will the shots connect? Markel does not care. The drop shot through top P2 takes him down, and Markel is on a 3.
on a 3, pushing into the point, takes down 1, takes down 2, finds himself a double. Is gonna look to pick up some of this time. 1 second left though, it's not really gonna matter. But the thing about this point is that P1 is on the other side of the map. You can rotate really. If you have control of P5, you probably have control of P1, and that's what the blue team here is looking to capitalize on.
Yeah, Markel knew he had one trapped. Gonna take the gunfight and make it out with his life. Retreating over towards the point to try to help his team out, cutting off some lanes, some tough COD timing there. Skill able to find kind of a freebie, working his way into the hill. Turned on by Twitch. Great by the Hillman right there. And now it's just, like we said, a candy cane colored kill feed.
Candy cane color.
2 going the way of the Hornets. Secret staying in time, again, trying to make this lead a little more than an entire hill as we rotate over to P2. If you look at the bottom of the minimap, Syracuse is starting to funnel into that P2. Might see some trades as we start this rotation. Skiv gonna find one with the pistol after 2 of his teammates fall. Markel cutting down the middle of the map with that AR, and he'll find another one. Markel starting to turn it up here.
He's really turning it up, making a 3, looking for 4. He's gonna find. He's not gonna find it. Markel, great job. Mid control is so important on this map. It's where everything really plays off of. Everything except for, I guess, P3 in that back corner is you need mid for it.
Exactly. So we're setting up P2 here. We saw some knees through the canister. Die is going to find one there. Are we legal? Looking to try to get through the top of this P2, and will he be able to do it with his life? Shots into the back of Secret. Secret's going to turn around and look for somebody that isn't there. The Renetti comes out and is not going to be able to find some kills. A tough stick and a tough stun right there on the Twitch. Nades were a big topic of conversation yesterday. Team kills, not as important today, but obviously you want to avoid that blue on blue or red on red crime. Now we start to rotate towards the back of the map. Again, back to this new and improved P3. No more interesting contest spot in this warehouse, but that's G8 anyway, so it won't matter for these competitive players. Markel gonna find one, can't find the second, although he has been frying so far today. And I like the setup here out of Syracuse. All angles covered. You're not having a lot of map control, but if somebody's trying to come get you, you're gonna know where they are, just as we're seeing right here with Twitch.
So he's trying to find his way in, but he's just kind of being kept in from all these angles, but he's able to find one. As someone from the red team overextends just a little bit, jumps over, finds the second, and I mean, just a good few kills by blue, because red, I guess, didn't really the presence of mind to know that there was someone behind him. Maybe the call wasn't there, maybe something didn't come through, but overextends a little bit, and now this point's going blue, and they're close to winning.
Exactly, kind of a blender of kills right now. Textbook break out of the Hornets, but Spockful gonna find some revenge right there. Twitch gonna try to soak up all this time. They can't win on this. They know they have to go to the furthest possible part of the map, and Syracuse is already there and getting set up. This lead might be a little too insurmountable with it being over 100, but again, the rotation is there for Syracuse. They have some time as the Hornets rotate to talk about, again, these players are unfamiliar with each other. Where does each person want to go, and what angles are not being held?
And you're down 100, right? This is going to be hard because Syracuse can hypothetically just literally give the next 2 entire points over, and all they need is 4 seconds on the point. But I mean, good job here, Syracuse holding it down, holding these angles down. Doesn't look like Hornets trying to be so aggressive on that back heady. Is Secret, It's going to fall, but you're right, Braeden. Now is the perfect opportunity to figure out how people like to play, who likes to sit time, who likes to hold long angles. Now is the time I do it, because it's a best of 5. This isn't like yesterday where it was best of 1 single elimination, you're out and you're done. No, you have a lot of time to bounce back. This is definitely an important thing for that.
I mentioned about halfway through the map, no real outliers in the kill feed, but Markel has been cooking this last quarter of the map, and that looks like it's going to be it. It's going to be a 250 to 146 for the Hornets, heading into Rio Search and Destroy up 1-0. Now, I want to say with the Search and Destroy, kind of what we were just talking about with the comms, Search and Destroy a lot slower, a lot more time in between rounds where you can kind of talk about what roles you are and things like that. Whereas especially on a map like Subbase, you are just running and gunning and trying to figure it out if you get an early rotation.
Exactly. I do think it's going to be a lot more. S&D is kind of a lot more of a team play. S&D is where I feel more comfortable. I come from a CS 5v5 kind of tack shooter background. And the biggest thing I noticed getting into COD is that hardpoint is just so different. And I mean, you play a lot. I mean, a lot of the game is hardpoint, right? The first 4 games, if you're gonna win in 4, you play 2 games of hardpoint. So that's a really important thing to be aware of. But also, you got to know when to change the pace. It's such a different change of pace. It's such a different way to play the game. If you come in from hardpoint and you're still kind of amped up and in that like run, go fast way, you're just going to lose in SD because you're going to go overextend.
Yeah.
So I like it here because we kind of get to see who plays patient, who plays smart, and how these teams can approach this like new kind of hodgepodge of players that they aren't really playing with.
Yeah, I had a blast yesterday in the 2v2, but I am super excited for today's 4v4 for a couple of reasons. With it being a best of 5, you're going to see different game modes. And again, hardpoint, it's kind of a coin flip. We've seen a lot of times in the professionals, in the U18, in college, sometimes the team that gets outslayed can still win that game. It's just overall teamwork and kind of sometimes luck of the draw, luck of the spawns. Search and destroy, we've again seen at all levels, one player is able to take over and pick up some slack and steal some rounds in a 4v1, 3v1. So teamwork, while it's vital to success, is not necessarily the one and done. We've seen people be able to, have that takeover factor and lead teams to victory. And then in control, I've never seen a disorganized team win a control.
Yeah.
So we've had a coin flip, and with some luck, we have an individual player can take over and win you a map. And then control, I think the best team is going to win that.
And I do think for the purposes of today, right, the college combine, where these players want to show their skills to potentially play at the next level. And like you said, search and destroy is the good opportunity to do that. If someone ends up at the end of this game with 15 kills and the rest of the team is on 5, these schools are going to take note.
Yeah, and something I've found in my personal experience here in playing in college, when you have outsiders coming, so whether these U18 players are going to schools with not very well established programs and are starting to build something out, you can teach players hardpoint, you can teach players control. The hardest thing to teach someone is search and destroy because it's all about reps. So picking up a player that is kind of that typical S&D kid is vital, especially at the college level.
Yeah, and like I was saying before, it's such a different game almost, right? S&D versus hardpoint thing. I don't want to keep going back to Counter-Strike, but like Counter-Strike and COD are very different. Yeah. And it's how can these players play it? Like you said, hardpoint is easy to learn. I've been getting into COD, like I've been saying, and hardpoint it's easy to pick up.
Just be a hill kid.
Yeah, just be a hill. Literally, game ends and I have 5 kills, but I have 2.5 minutes on the point, and that's fine. S&D is where I really feel comfortable, and it shows through because I notice a lot of these people who only play COD. I'm like the CS brain is going off. It's like, why are you pushing that? Hold, sit back. I like it. Something that COD does really well is the game modes. I think you get a little bit of everything, especially like you said, control. Got to be so on top. We'll talk about it more going into control, I'm sure, but like you got to do everything together because if you're just if you get disorganized, you're just gonna lose your lives, and that's gonna be that.
Exactly. So U18 Hornets, U18 Syracuse, again hopping into the search and destroy right after this, and we'll be back very soon with that gameplay. All right, here we are into the search and destroy. Again, we previewed this, talking about how definitely a single player can take over, but especially on a map like Rio, probably some more coordinated team pushes is going to be the advantage. All the action in the bottom of the minimap right now is 5, which is Skiv, making a wrap around, but again, Twitch, watching his back, we'll see what we can do there. A couple trades on this A site, which is where the bomb is down, so it looks like all the action is going to come here. Twitch, again, working his way through that P1 area, and in a 2v3, Hornets are looking to regain right here.
Yeah, kind of slowing it down. Now it's a 1v3, not Twitch. I think Choi was probably be how we say it. I think he's just advertising his.
I got you.
Yeah, don't want these colleges to look up Twitch and then have him get no results. He's gonna look up here. Can he find the kill? No, he's gonna go down. Just players need time to get their bearings here.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in a map like Rio, search and destroy. I've noticed it's very, very one-sided. Very hard to either retake a site or to wrap after maybe throwing a smoke out, something like that. At least that's what I've noticed while I've been playing. The other thing I've been noticing, more in ranked than in private lobbies, but it's a lot of 6-0s. So with Syracuse taking the round 1 right here, we'll see if they continue on a run or whether we're going to see the defending team come out on top in each round.
And with Rio being a relatively new to the map pool, I think it's interesting to look at these positions that people take. And I mean, right off the bat, Syracuse looked to send kind of 5 down that right side. Now they're kind of sitting a little bit through mid, through lobby. Super cool to see the angle.
Yeah, Die with a call out on 2 right there. He's going to find one. Definitely knows there's somebody else nearby. as he got on that truck heady with that AR. So does he know about the rest of the team right behind where he was looking? He does not, and the bomb looks like it's going to get closer and closer to B. Markel going to find one, still hot after his last map. And we're going to see Skill take down one of the Hornets as well. But again, traded out. Skill last up for Syracuse, and nothing too good there for them.
Great job tracking, able to follow that guy around him. You said normally these are 6-0. Felt pretty good. I do. Maybe we're gonna see a lot of defense sided action. What do you feel? Do you feel that S&D is normally defense or attack sided, or is it completely map dependent, or how do you think that goes?
I think it's definitely map dependent, but overall, especially when we get into round 10s, round 11s, you're gonna want that defensive side so that you're not running across the map. You're letting the players come to you. And again, one thing I noticed in this last round, each player kind of looked at the bomb. We don't really have designated bomb carriers here. Again, with these teams being random, somebody's got to speak up and take the initiative and be that bomb carrier. Again, something for the colleges to look out for. Who wants to be that leader? Who wants to be the selfless player? And maybe have some more deaths, but definitely, hopefully, some more plans.
I like this approach from Hornets here, kind of just sending a lot of people left, trying to take control of this A site. It's starting to slow down, but I think Syracuse starting to get a key. This flank here from Skiv is going to be really vital to see how many he can find. He's going to just fall down on the flank, actually.
Yeah, he'll find one in the middle of the map, but he will get traded out. So down to a 3v3 we go. Again, still all of the action towards the bottom of the mini map as the Hornets are trying to take this A site.
Get the bomb plant.
Syracuse is going to back up a little bit, and now they're going to be down man. So bomb down, man down. We'll see what, if anything, Syracuse can do. Not looking great, but Skill has an opportunity to make a 3v1 and get a clip up on those socials.
You definitely want to get a clip in the U18 combine, but I think he
just got caught with the timing. One behind him, and he is going to fall. COD timing, you love to see it. You hate to see it, depending on who you're rooting for.
What I really did like to see there was as Skiv was starting to get pushed from behind him by Die. We see, right, Die gets the kill, but look, Secret, if you kind of pay attention, he starts running out immediately, ready to trade his teammate. Ready to be there in case his teammate ends up losing that 1v1. I really like that. Really good, either good map awareness from Die or Secret. We don't know who made the call to kind of peek together, but especially in a team that's not playing together, if they're already peeking off each other, looking to trade frags, I think it's a really good sign for their kind of, they're playing, their understanding of this.
Yeah, a lot of the college comms in Search and Destroy, especially in later halves of rounds, is untradeable. And that was something they were right there as they tried to pinch it. Troy gonna find one with the SMG as Die works his way up, tries to get eyes on the bomb site. Skill gonna find one though, as Die 63 HP gonna try to regain right here, and Skill's gonna push out, maybe tried to find one. He knows somebody's there for sure. The drop shot, but it doesn't matter when you're getting a headshot. 1v2 for Secret against Skiv and Legal, and he's gonna find it. Oh my goodness, with the SMG mowing down two people in that P1 area, and more importantly, defusing the B-bomb.
You gotta be tradable, but you can't be clippable.
Yeah.
It's a super fine line, but between trading and between lining up, and I think there, Syracuse just got a little bit too close to lining up. So if you watch the skill feed, right, Skiv dashed, or not dashed, but he slid from that kind of left side of the door to the right, out of the sight line of it gave time to Skiv to see him go and then aim there. By the time he re-peeked, he was already aiming there. So
that comes down to communication. Maybe you got to double chow that if you're on a team together. But again, with these guys just being together for maybe a few minutes.
It happens. It happens. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Troy 6-2 on the kill feed, like we said. Individuals can take over. He's sitting at the top of the leaderboard right now. He's kind of a slower approach, but a nade, BCL nade, chucked in there from Are We Legal is gonna put Syracuse on the back foot. And look, they're already starting to wrap around the right side of the map.
Yeah, definitely a retake or a flank, if you will. And none of the Hornets are super aware here. Are We Legal coming outside a mall, making sure nobody's on that A site? Again, holding it, maybe paranoid that somebody might be behind, but who is behind? That's Skiv gonna find two right there. The emergency sub from yesterday, making a name for himself all weekend, and Die needs to get out with his life, but he will live up to his name and die.
I really like, right, you get that kill with the nade. Syracuse are on the back foot, so you don't let up the pressure. You send two people to right, you send them on the flank, and it pays off because 3v4s, while they obviously favor the person with more team, they can switch pretty easily. All you need is one kill, and then you're in a 3v3, but these players playing under the name Hornets just not giving Syracuse any time to breathe.
Exactly. So 3-2, favoring the defending side of the Hornets right now. Again, like you mentioned, Choi 6-3, kind of the notable guy on the blue side, and then 6-3 for Skiv, the emergency sub from yesterday, and more importantly, right now the bomb carrier. Again, being that selfless guy, going to be interesting to see if they switch that up every round, as to not get scouted. Okay, when we kill Skiv, we know bomb is down, or maybe that's a little too advanced and we're overthinking some things. But either way, gunfight's going to start to go the way of Syracuse. Legal with the first blood, Skiv with the second one, and Die is just kind of playing credit over here, waiting for some people to push him. He'll find one, but again, 2v1 usually going to go the way of those two. Secret with a huge opportunity right here. And he finds two right there, one on the bomb plant, one covering, and he's just going to find three. Oh my goodness. The clip so far today, the intelligence to pick what gunfights you want. He's doing great.
I would like to say to every single school out there watching, skip back in the VOD, or if you remember, that's fine, to when Skip pushed out, he had the flank. There were two people in front of him. He aimed at the bomb planer first, didn't shoot, shot the other guy, then went back to the bomb player. That
Can't teach that.
You can't teach that, right? Trigger discipline, knowing that he's planting the bomb. If I shoot him, I could get turned on. Let me secure this. Let me take an extra second and make that's a really smart play from Secret.
Yeah, Spockful on 007 alert, maybe a little James Bond out of him, but the rest of the team trying to get back into this one, needing 2 rows in a row to tie it up. And again, Syracuse kind of taking some mid-map control and making sure nobody's going to work through this P1 area. Skill will start to push out a little bit.
They've guessed wrong, it feels like.
And I think at this point, you're going to see one blood go down, so you know Die's over there. But do you assume the rest of the team's over there and just playing slow? But either way, they're going to get the cue that the bomb is going to be down at A, and they're going to need to retake right here.
Be so careful roaming around the map when you just don't know where... Roaming solo when you don't know where anybody is a big risk.
Yeah, all three relatively close to Die. They got to hit him out right here, and the shots are going to go the way of Skill as now down to a 3v3, but only 30 seconds. He got about 20 to defuse. Are we legal? Checking every corner. He's got to know somebody's out here.
Yeah.
The door queue is going to queue it up and just going to get sandwiched right there. 2v3 for Syracuse, needing this big swing round. Twitch Choi has a pretty good angle. Gonna get hit out right here, and the shots aren't gonna connect, so Skill again with a big gunfight right there. No time to defuse. 1v1 doesn't really matter. Hornets are gonna win that one.
You gotta go quick. Bombs defusing, that is the ultimate motivator. You gotta go quick. If you slow down like that, that's what's gonna happen. Interesting play from Syracuse to kind of have everybody over on the left side of the map, and no one watching the right side at all. I feel like you maybe want to have at least one person in the general area to maybe not to chow, but at least to know, okay, that's what's happening here. Because there was so much time that was wasted having to rotate and then also Die, doing a good job. Maybe didn't get many kills in the rotate, but able to lurk and just soak up a lot of time. It's a classic CS lurk.
Yeah, that's the most painful part about me being a player and now casting right now. You know, the players don't get caught caster. They can't see over the map and see where everybody's going. And especially watching S&D VOD, it can sometimes be so painful to see a 4-push on a place you weren't looking. But another BCL nade out of Die. And
we cannot keep calling.
My specialty. I sure don't know how to shoot my gun, but I have the most nades in CCL. Gonna find the gun muzzle right there, and that's gonna be enough for a kill. So again, this might be over. Bomb is down. The defuse is in. So a 6-2 dominating win out of the Hornets.
Yeah, Syracuse looked at the beginning like they could kind of keep it going, but I mean they just fell. That's gonna do it. Really great individual play from Secret, right, with that clutch. It was Secret, with that trigger discipline, the 1v3, playing good, playing together. Look at this leaderboard. Obviously, Die, Choi, Secret. Markel playing good too. We look, he had some good damage, but the Die on top doing a really good job lurking and able to slow down Syracuse and be a thorn in their side.
Yeah, and so we talked about attacking versus defending. That conversation is going to get a lot more serious as we go into this invasion control.
Yep.
Everybody, and no matter what experience level, I mean, not to throw shame on you, but even you know that the defending side in invasion control is the one that's going to be winning. So can one of these teams steal an attacking round and kind of change momentum here?
That's really what it feels like. It's just you got to win. If you can just win one round on attack, you're pretty much gonna win the game. It's just so tough. Especially if these teams know what they're doing on defense. You know what it is? I feel like it's so much easier to play really good defense than it is to play really good offense.
Yeah.
Because on defense, you just kind of have to sit in your spots, maybe rotate so they don't know exactly where you are every single time. Rather than on attack, you got to push together. You got to push from different angles. There's just so much that can go wrong on attack compared to defense.
Yeah, the team playing under the Syracuse name is down 2-0. If they reverse sweep, no matter what the stats say, all 4 of those players need to be on a director's list. A reverse sweep, not a very common thing, and takes a really special type of player to get it started. Who do you think is going to take over in this control?
I want to see us go and play a few more games, so I'm looking at Skiv I'm looking at Skiv, right? He came in yesterday. He, the emergency sub did good, but I'm looking to see how he and the rest of Syracuse can keep their heads on their shoulders. Even if they don't do a reverse sweep, or even if they lose this, I want to see it. I want it to be close. What I really don't want is just a quick
3-0, 3-0.
Quick 3-0.
Yeah.
Quick.
Well,
3-0.
that is going to be remaining to be seen as we hop into the invasion control right after this. Here we are in this invasion control. I'm going to be talking a lot here as the color commentator Daniel will be right back. And again, these teams are hungry, especially Syracuse wanting to try to get this reverse sweep going. Kill's going to go the way of them. And again, they're starting on defense, so maybe favoring them a little bit in this round 1. The B zone going to start to get captured. That first tick should be done for the Hornets. Troy finding 2 before he falls right there. Spotful going to be the gun that takes him down. And these players spawning out a little bit of action at the B. Number 5, Skiv, has a chance to get this capture undone, but 3 on the stack, not going to be enough for him. Spotful going to find 1, and then Skiv going to try to find this guy top, and not going to be able to. Secret Markel cleaning up a big 3rd one right there for the Hornets as they try to transition over to take this A.
Great job. Saw that whole thing, loved it.
Yeah. All right, the map is kind of shifting right now as the Hornets are trying to work around the spawn. Some Syracuse players are behind them. Number 2 all the way back in Palace. Gonna see if he can find Spockful right here. Might know he's there, and he will. So that's a big kill right there, regaining map control for the Hornets. 2 of them are in the back of the Syracuse spawn. 1 and 7 spawning right next to each other. Maybe a sound cue, because Die is kind of 360 and looking around himself, and he's gonna find a big one right there. The lives so far going to the Hornets, and it's gonna be a 4 life advantage, so an entire squad wipe would have to be what evens this up. Secret working in, and he's just gonna get hit out through the back.
Kind of the last man surviving there. Secret tried to do what he can. I like the approach from the Hornets. Take him out one by one throughout the whole map. Is Die. It's a nice shot. And then converge together. I think that's how you got to do it. And I mean, look at that. A few lucky kills go Hornets' way, and they got control at this point.
Yeah, obviously kills looking great, but with a little over a minute, the time is going to play a factor here. So the Hornets are going to get knocked off of that hill. The cap is not going to come through, so A is going to be reset.
Good
Secret
trophy.
trying to work in for his team, but again, great, like you said, trophy placement right there. Staying up, and Die is on a 7, so he has that cruise missile. Not really going to matter, unfortunately.
Because the game sucks.
But so far so good out of Die. Actually, no deaths from him right now on this attack. And nice shots right there out of Troy. Gonna work in through this old P1. Finding the second as he has 2 primary weapons out right now. Again, great game sense to pick up that submachine gun when you need it. Die still not going to. And gonna turn around, find the guys mid. They have an opportunity to 3 stack, but Die opting to stay in the back and try to get these players to funnel down in him. And then 4 with a great pinch right there. We should see a lot of Hornets kills in just a second right here.
Yeah, Syracuse is kind of put on the back foot, is forced to retake this. The lives remaining, they have 4 lives remaining and the time's ticking down. They have no respawns. There's almost nothing they can do. Hornets were able to just slowly grind them away, and look at that, they take the win.
Dominant. 17-3 in the life differential, and obviously 1-0 in the round differential.
Troy was the man of the hour. I mean, look at this. 2 quick kills. Swinging out of the right. Great game sense. He just knew where Syracuse is coming from.
Now they played very aggressive there, working in through the back of the spawn. The only thing that I could see going wrong for them right now is having to slow down. When you're frying, you just want to go out, especially if you're Die, you just want to go out and start gunning people mid-courtyard. But being on the defensive on a map like this, maybe you just got to be patient and see what can come to you.
We're talking about if you can win on attack, you're looking pretty good. So Hornets definitely like where they're coming from, but I mean, right off rip, we see some fast pushes A while we still trying to put some bodies on B. So Hornets here have a decision. Where do they send their men? It seems like they're gonna. A decision's gonna be a little bit easier as B is gonna be taken down. But look, I mean, Syracuse starting to converge over on A, and this point can be so hard to retake.
Yeah, they got some progress on both points, kind of a 2-2 split right there, which I really like. And A is starting to fly away from the Hornets. So again, lives are probably going to be what we look at here, is that if all goes well for Syracuse, they're going to have a little over 2 minutes to work with. However, the Hornets with a last-ditch effort, Secret finding a huge one right there, making sure A does not get caught, and Die still has not died. No. He is 11-0, working his way into orange. These players are going to know he's going to be waiting for them, or they were not. They're going to sprint right past him, and the first death comes halfway through the second round.
On little 12-piece, great job from Die, just staying alive. I really like that kind of hold. They were able to save A at the last second. Syracuse maybe counted their chickens before they hatched, and but I mean, look, it can swing back to these. 4 people on B and are just gunning down as they try and come back.
Yeah, Markel just sitting back in his spawn, probably getting a drink or a snack right now because he hasn't moved this entire second round. And it kind of shows in the kill feed
Literally
right now.
has not moved.
4-4 for him, so we're gonna see if we need to reset this map or what's going on. But overall, Die not really caring. They'll take the 4v3 and Die's still gonna gun. Gonna find one right there. Knows there's probably a second near, but Skiv is gonna be able to use that SMG to his advantage and find that. Just a singular tick remaining for Syracuse. Again, as we mentioned, in an informal 4v3 with Markel not moving. And Syracuse is all over this A point. The double stack is in. Secret gonna find nothing right there. Is a nice turn on right there. And 2 kills going the way of Syracuse will wrap that round up.
I'd love to know where Markel is.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he has that confidence factor, and he's just put the controller down and is gonna let his team work. Maybe it's even a mind game. We're gonna play 3 on defense and then take all of these in the attacking sense.
That's a really interesting strategy.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how it works.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it looks like sad.
So maybe not mind games, maybe technical issues,
not mind games.
or he just really needed a glass of water. Regardless of whatever it was, what did you see so far on that map?
What did I see? I saw. Let me get in the frame. I saw some good play. I saw Die obviously fragging out, just kind of knew where to be. Yeah. I think someone could make the argument that no deaths on attack could be a little problematic, right? That means you're not really putting yourself in a position to win if you're not putting yourself in a position to die as well. But also, he could just be that cracked.
Yeah, I mean, he was playing very, very slow on the attack, which again kind of seems counterintuitive. However, it worked out, and they did take the round. So again, we're going to get back into this same map, this same mode. I'll let you know if we're doing anything with the rounds or anything like that. But we will be back, hopefully, momentarily. All right, we're restarting right here. However, the round count is going to be 1-1 in this invasion control.
That's right.
We're going to see if players like Dai and Choi can pick up where they left off. However, if there's ever going to be a reset where people were frying, this point in the game would be the one. With cruise missiles not really working, they're not going to be too mad if they had them in their pocket.
No, it doesn't really matter. As Markel and I picked up 2 kills, Markel blue screen, apparently that was the reason happens, especially with a game like this, you know. But great job here on the attack from Hornets, able to kind of find the kills and push up, take the site well. Syracuse is just kind of on the other side of the map. Maybe they're giving up.
Yeah, 1-1, both rounds going the attacking way. And we mentioned how defense heavy this map and mode combo is. The B zone flying off the shelf once again. Now, Hornets are down a couple of lives. Syracuse doing great, trying to retake this B. And with only 20 seconds left, and the Hornets spawning out, they're really going to need to try to get at least one body on this, stop the time, and then find the kills. But does Syracuse know that? 2 of them have rotated over A, so we have a 4v2 on this B site, and a team kill comes through, but Markel is going to find the more important one, which is going to be killing Syracuse. Skill in the back, 2 huge kills. Will he be able to find the third? He won't, so Markel is the only one up, but he will fall, and B will not get taken. So it looks like only 2 ticks are going to come through for Hornets and Syracuse with the first defensive round win.
So Syracuse is now up 2-1.
Correct.
Let's remember that. Teams playing here to 2. Yeah, great play. Markel unfortunately couldn't hold on just a little bit longer. But I mean, you can only ask so much. Great job, kind of being able to hold back, not give up that B site. And I mean, look, that just shows you, like, if you try, you might win.
That's a huge round out of Syracuse, considering 2 of them rotated over to A. Just keep an eye on that. And so having to retreat as the 2 over at B fell to be able to retake that, that was huge. But Die going straight to B. And number 2 is going to be Troy going straight to A. And he's going to have some company right here. And that company is not going to be friendly, but Troy bites back with some bullets right there. Knows one is probably in laundry, and he's going to fall. So Syracuse find 3 right there. We're going to see what Skill can find. Markel going to respond with 2 of his own. So again, the lives kind of frenzied. Down 4 if you're Hornets, down 3 if you're Syracuse. Both of those are going to go down to 4 deaths, but the kill feed is blue right now.
Kill feed is blue. Syracuse kind of had their time in the sun, but Hornets able to group up and retake that B site. Now, something to notice here on the other side of the map is split in half. Syracuse have control of this left side of the map, which could land them towards the A bomb site, but of course the spawns come in clutch for Hornets to spawn back in on that side of the map. But Are We Legal looking to do his best, finds one, looking for more.
Syracuse tending to run in pairs here, whereas Hornets are kind of all over the place. A big jump shot right there out of Skill, escapes with 17 health. And now 3 of them are on B. The Hornets are all scattered over A. A big kill out of Secret. 4 players are up now. Die going to be the closest to this B site. But with the stack coming in, 3 on it. Just going to start moving pretty fast. That 1 tick is already in. Die needs to see what he can do there. Going to work up top. 2 big kills out of the Hornets. And Die finding 1 in front of DVD and taking that second tick off of B.
30 seconds left. Hornets do have the life advantage, but I mean, the time is ticking. Syracuse just has to make sure that they don't lose the site. Syracuse is going to have one more push, but Die locking down. We've seen him frag so much. Finds one behind the tank. He knows Are We Legal's there. Gonna peek out, but Scarlet too, able to find some frags. And I mean, he's stuck behind this truck, but it shouldn't really matter because the kills are just coming in.
I love that out of Die. That is my preferred spot as an AR, playing in between that pillar and the Rebel. You just get to funnel people down there. And now the Hornets are pushing up, just starting to spawn kill. And now we are going to a round 5 in this invasion control.
Woo, woo, woo. That's what I have to say.
Yeah.
And y'all didn't even see my little dance move.
Oh, it's unfortunate. I guess we'll have to recreate that when the stream comes back to us.
That's gonna be a good question. It's a great question. BCL asking a great question. Look, okay, 2-2. We saw the first 2 rounds go the way of the attack, and now we see the second 2 rounds going the way of the defense. Remember, the first map had to reset after being 1-1, so this is the final map. Whoever wins this is gonna take it all. And the names we're seeing here is Die, still fragging, but look on the other side. People are doing good. People are doing good. Are We Legal's doing good. Maybe Spockful and Skiv you want to see a little bit more from, but yeah, it's gonna be up to this final map. Can the attackers finally change what's been happening for the past few rounds?
Yeah, Die with the first blood in this round as well, but Markel gonna fall in the site. Are We Legal again, like we mentioned, being the Slayer for Syracuse right now, and people not really having a ton of map control. Syracuse definitely has the majority of it, as it's gonna be a 2v2 on B with the players over A falling, and Syracuse gonna find 3 right there. Markel with his secondary weapon. Gonna take down Skiff, and now Markel again on this heady. Can't find the guy Dark, as the nade is gonna come through by Are We Legal. So some gunshots and a little bit of grenade damage right there is gonna take him down. But Die on this heady, and that is where we've seen him get to work. However, Skill gonna come behind him. He is all alone in Ice Cream, eventually gonna get taken down. That is a huge power position that I'm sure he would like to still be in.
As we see Hornets just converging, able to find some good kills. Now they're going to start getting some ticks in on this bomb site. If you look at the bottom left of your minimap, you see Die kind of just being a nuisance, sitting back in that spawn, not allowing Skiv to run up and be and attack Hornets from behind. So they're going to kind of all be funneled into one direction, and Die is going to be right here on the flank. He's going to come up behind him, sees one. He's going to have an opportunity for a lot of kills here and turn the frag, and he's going to find, Arkel's going to find two, he's going to find one, and I mean, but while we're talking, point fell.
Yeah, a lot of colleges, you know, Syracuse especially, the way we kind of run the team, and again, like I mentioned, a lot of other schools, there are some times where a player just plays on an island, and that's the move. You have a team of 3 and a team of 1 just working, not necessarily just playing for stats, but just being a nuisance and being like, hey, everybody else is over here. What are you doing over there? It seems like Die is that odd man out over here. But the players now on the A point are we legal, finding a big kill. Die trades him out. Markel with a huge drop shot. And again, the candy cane color kill feed going back and forth between red and blue. Spockful clearing off that A tick, and Die, the lobby leader, going to try to come in and see what he can do here with the jump shot, and he's going to get some help from Troy. So Troy finds a big kill right there. Will get traded out by Skill, but again, Markel going to find the trade for him. Progress getting started at A here, a little over halfway done with 2 members in the point. Syracuse attacking this, but attacking this relatively slow. Spockful finds 1, Spockful finds 2, and saves the game so far for Syracuse, but it is far from over.
Lives remaining, we're getting close, we're getting down to the wire here.
Might come down to lives, considering we got 40 seconds left. Only 1 respawn remaining for Syracuse, 3, however, for the Hornets. So everybody takes a little bit of a deep breath here. Lots of kills back and forth, but now we're starting to get some strategy. You see at the bottom of your screen, a lot of players right next to each other. Will they turn the corner sprinting, or will they turn the corner with the irons up? 8 and 4, and Markel with a huge 2 right there. That might secure the game for them. Secret working, top gas area. If he can find this kill, that would be huge, but not going to be able to. Die, has to
3v3, 10 seconds left. Maybe it comes down to time here.
I think it might too. 3v2 with about 5 seconds left. A Syracuse player has to stop the Hornets from working in a 3v1, and it's going to go the way of Syracuse. So takes back at least 1 map in this best of 5.
Because we reset, so Syracuse takes the control map.
Yep.
And they start their path to the reverse sweep. Some names from that lobby that were really popping off. Markel obviously playing phenomenally. And I do think the Hornets are playing good, but Syracuse was just able to lock it in and hold it together for long enough.
Exactly.
I do think, yeah, we're gonna back out of this.
Yep, so again, because of the blue screen, we are going to end the map there with a 3-2 victory to Syracuse. And now we're going back to your favorite map, on Rio.
That's right. I know every call out.
So going back, this time on Rio, we're going to have a hard point. Did you, now that the camera's back, did you want to do that little dancey dance?
No. It was a moment thing, you know, like my mom said it was cool, and like she was watching, so it's like, no, it's like dope. It's like chill though.
Okay.
It's like super chill.
Super cool guy right here. DannySalads, super cool.
Had to unbutton the vest. It was,
I know. Popping out.
BCL sent out a mean tweet that I'm bursting out of my pullover. He should have given me a size bigger than a medium.
Yeah, listen, he asked for a pullover and I provided. He didn't ask for specifics, but overall, going into the specifics again, CDL hardpoint on Rio coming up next. 2 for the Hornets, 1 for Syracuse. Do you see we might go to a map 5 here?
I think we could definitely go to a map 5. Why not? Like, why can't we, right? You have to take a reverse sweep 1 map at a time, and Syracuse did that. I'm really looking forward to seeing. I think all these colleges should be keeping an eye on now. Not only how does Syracuse respond and start to come back to try and claw back, but also now how does Hornets, can they put their foot down? Can these players who've been popping off, Markel, Secret, Die, and Choi, they've all been playing really good. Now can they kind of group together and say, stop that?
I thought a big factor for the Hornets were some clutch kills. They, Choi and Die were really playing together really well, especially in that A point, and kind of trading for each other, making sure one gets out with maybe 2 HP left, but is able to find the kill on that attacker. So I thought that was big. And Syracuse, overall, I thought played a very great team game. They traveled in pairs and were tradable. Now, those 2v4s sometimes didn't go the way of them, but again, we saw a lot of back and forth, and the time was on the side of Syracuse.
And I mean, it showed. It showed.
Exactly. So again, we're hopping into Rio Hardpoint in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere. Syracuse trying to reverse sweep. Back into the game, Syracuse with a little bit of a lead into this P1. Hornets are going to try to funnel in and get this one remaining player. As there we go. Working into this P2 rotation, Nate going to come in for skill. Markel going to trade him out. And again, 2 kills. And again, just back and forth right here. P2 obviously important on all maps. This probably one of the less important ones. P1, you can kind of sit in a corner, a lot of contest time on that, but overall, you're going to see about 27, like we did from Syracuse right here. A quarter of the way into P2. Nice 3-piece out of Syracuse right there. The S to S connection, skill to skiv.
Right.
Kill's going to go right there.
I want to see here. I want to see this push come out from Hornets fast, and I want to see them, if they lose, I want to see them rotate. And that does what looks like going to happen. But on an island here, Skiv kind of fighting his way through, but able to find the kill is Choi, and they're going to pick up a little bit this time. Actually, no, detail they come through. But look, Syracuse already on the rotation, starting to lock down this P3.
Yeah, even if they take the remainder of this scrap, obviously important, especially early game, they are going to be down at least a little bit as all 4 Syracuse members are at the new hill. Legal gonna fall in P1, but 2 are right there. Has an opportunity to find a couple big kills is Troy. Finds one, but again, peeks the wrong angle, so he'll fall. Secret's starting to come on the rotation, finds one in the back, and his teammates are in the hill. Really, really good break out of Hornets.
Yeah, you like to see that. You like to see everybody kind of come together, play together, get their shots, and let's see if they can keep holding it as Syracuse tries to come back.
Syracuse opting to hit 2 through P1, 2 through top bridge. So you're going to get that outside window angle, and then you're going to get the top of the escalators. Hornets don't really care, though. They're going to find 3 right there and continue to battle their way back into this one. In fact, taking the lead after being down nearly 40.
Yeah, now we're going to see these rotations come in. People are going to run back to P4. It's kind of map. The points tend to just kind of ping pong back and forth. So let's see who can kind of shut it down. Die is rotating early. He finds one. Can he find the second? Skiv's going to hide behind the van, but the BCL nade, it's going to come through. It's going to take him out.
Oh,
yes,
you called it. I mean, again, for those at home, BCL nades are the greatest nades of all time.
That's many have been saying.
As I've made my college scholarship just off of nades, not because my gun.
He doesn't shoot the gun.
And all of my teammates can tell you that. So Skiv, here with his teammates, hitting it into the hard point, gonna try to jump and get something, but 12 and 8 is gonna be his kills right now. Markel with a pistol, working it, and he finds one on top of the van right there, trying to regain some health points in the corner. Now Die has a chance to find 2 big ones, and he will!
Nice.
A third one on its way into the clutches of Die, but one of his teammates, Markel, is gonna pick it up for him. So overall, Hornets have completely taken Rio and flipped it on its head after being down a substantial amount.
Doing a really good job. Like I was kind of saying, it's not only how Syracuse responds to being down 2-0, but how Hornets respond to the potential reverse sweep, and it looks like they're just putting their foot on the gas, taking P4, no regard for human life. Secret already on the rotation over at P5, and Hornets kind of a little bit of mixed spawns. Let's see what Are We Legal can do here. Maybe he can get some work in on the flank.
Markel is taken over. He does not want to go to another search and destroy. Troy popping the Deddy and working his way into P1. Turn around, drop another Syracuse player. So again, Troy on the attack here, gonna find one. Extra shots there. And Are We Legal? Again, some players have stopped moving, so maybe something's going on here.
Yeah, looks like some server issues.
And we're gonna continue to go as of right now. Number 8 not moving, so skill on the left side of your screen.
7 too.
Yeah, they're gonna stop it first, and now they're gonna keep going. So again, nothing crazy right now yet. 2 players not playing, the rest of them going ahead and doing it. Maybe another blue screen situation. But until we hear otherwise, we're going to continue as if this game was happening.
Which
and
it's
there
not.
we go.
Yeah, it's a little bit, I mean, you know, great game. It's a great game you guys play here, Braeden.
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, 144 to 57. So keep those numbers in the back of your head. But I think probably the most likely outcome is a full map reset.
Yeah,
Syracuse,
it's hard to not do that for Hardpoint.
Yeah, Syracuse came out of the gates really, really strong. Then after that, it was all Hornets.
Yeah, it was all Hornets. I liked kind of that, especially. I don't want to be broken record, but Hornets even going down in the first team fight, but still able to bring it back. I'm curious to see Now that we will probably have a map reset, how Syracuse approaches that, because they almost get a second lease on life here.
Yep.
How can you take advantage of that? Because this is kind of right, RNG, like it's out of your control if the servers die. But can you play off of that? Can you roll with the punches? Same thing for Hornets. Can they go from being up to now having to? It can be hard to have to play again when you already were winning.
Yeah. For anyone joining late, we have a great series on our hands as Syracuse won that control 3-2 after going down 2-0 off of the hard point and search and destroy. Hard point was 250 to 146 for the Hornets on subbase, 6-2 on Rio for the Hornets as well. So looking so far so good for them on Rio overall in both the search and the hard point. Invasion control, like I mentioned, going the way of these Syracuse players. And again, if you missed the very beginning, best of 5 series today for all of these teams taking on college names. This is in no way showing that these players are recruited or signed to these schools.
Yep.
These are just schools that are active in the U18 Discord and trying to bring up the next generation. Some schools that directors are definitely watching to see what players they might be able to scoop up. And if you were director of competition, who would you be going after in this series?
I'm liking Markel.
Okay.
Markel's been fragging, and I'm liking Markel.
He was doing great yesterday.
Markel's been doing great yesterday in the 2v2 as well. I think Die, really good showing on that control, even though the Hornets ended up losing. I think he kind of showed that he had a good. Also, that was Secret, right? With that.
Yep.
With that clutch on
3v1.
The 3v1,
Yep.
the trigger discipline. That, I mean, really, all of these players from Hornets are really catching my eye.
Yeah. So again, as we await further ruling on this hard point, whether it's a reset, whether we're going in with the same scoreline, we're going to be right back and give you your favorite screen as we try to work all these technical issues out. We'll see you soon. And back into Rio Hardpoint we go. A full score reset. So what you see at the top is accurate. Again, the Hornets still up 2-1 in the map pool. But in terms of this particular match, going to be starting off 2-0 to Syracuse. And this is something they started out pretty well on the P1 here. All started to fall apart as they were down a little under 100 going into the second half of the map. But again, the reset potentially going the way of Syracuse right here.
You want to see how they're able to respond. They respond first by losing this point. Die able to find 2 on the left. Secret gonna team up on the other side. Syracuse tried to come in split, but it just didn't quite work out.
And that's one thing about Die that we've seen so far. This man does not get ice. He can take, breaks in between games. We've had a couple of different resets, and so far he's continued to slay out. So great to see out of him. Secret getting some kills as well. 3-1 for that young man. And here we are at P2. A little bit of a score reversal in terms of what we saw from the first attempt on this game.
Score reversal indeed, and as we kind of been talking about, as I like that flank from Troy, kind of running on the side of the map. 5-2, Secret unable to turn on his opponent, but gonna run into Skiv here, who actually finds himself a double. He's getting himself into a really good position back, and now it's just gonna be Markel on this point, excuse me, and he's gonna fall, but the cavalry comes back in from the Hornets, some kills traded back and forth, flying around, but looks like Hornets might kind of take control.
Exactly. Hornets finding 2 big ones there. Are we legal finding the kill on Secret? And Markel gonna hop right back into this point. Syracuse still hitting it. Not really worried about the rotation so far here. And now number 8 is gonna take an alternative route, turns around, and is starting to rotate. So we'll see if he can meet up with number 2 and how that exchange goes. But number 2 gonna kill Skiv right there and be the first one at this new point for the Hornets. Syracuse ends up crashing in, and again, now they have time to communicate and figure out what setup they want to do here.
Yeah, as again, Spockful kind of takes down Markel, who's coming in to hopefully throw in some danger on that flank. It felt like on that take, Hornets did a good job taking it first, but a little too spread out. Syracuse were able to come in with the numbers and come in and take the point. But Secret, as we see, takes down 2, gets traded out, but Choi quick to refrag, and now they have control of this point. 40 seconds, Syracuse groups up, tries to organize a push.
Yeah, they're going to 4-hit through P1 here. 2 of them are going to fall. 3 of them are going to fall. 4 of them are going to fall.
That's a quick wipe.
So as I was about to say, as we got into the early parts of this P3, it was about a 60-point game. So if you hold that entire hill, definitely not anything to worry about. But now as we get into about an 80-point game, definitely something you want to worry about. If you're able to hold this scrap, it's about a 1 hill game. But as I say that, Markel is going to take that scrap for himself and the Hornets.
Moving into P3, Syracuse has first control over it. This is going to be big. Can they sit up in their spots? Die has been showing he's a nuisance, but skill. Good job, good awareness, knowing he can kind of walk up the side and take him out.
Yep.
Hornets with 3. They're going to wait for Die to come back. They're going to try and take some more space around the map, make it a bit harder, but that could backfire. As Secret finds himself a double. May try and translate this into the push on the point, but Die and Choi each get 2 of their own. Wipe Syracuse.
Yeah, the Syracuse team so far has been pretty good on rotations and setups, but sometimes you just run into a team that just likes to break. They're a breaking team, and that's what the Hornets seem to be doing here. Again, all these teams randomized, so not a lot of practice, but each of these players having that break ability. Secret finding a 2-piece right there, taking over the hill for the Hornets, and they're starting to run away with this one.
Secret, Die, and Markel really just on top. They all have 12 kills, and they have varying amounts of deaths, all very little. As we look over at Syracuse's team, no one is positive, and that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, definitely, as players start to work around towards the P1 as they're trying to get under the bridge. But the route of attack for some of these players, especially 2 of the Syracuse members, is through this P1. Finding a kill on the Hornets right there. Spockle being paranoid in a smart way, sends a nade over behind him, and again, eventually gets picked up. So with about 45 seconds left on this hill, we're going to see what color it turns, red or blue. Red is going to be the Syracuse U18ers, blue for the Hornets. And the Hornets trying to take over here. However, Syracuse finding 2 kills. Hornets bounce back and almost turned on Choi. We know how much he likes that Renetti, and we know how much he likes killing people with it. But not going to go his way.
No, great job from Syracuse, able to find the kills where they matter. Look at this flank here from Skiv, but being doubly flanked by Choi as this fight for these scraps of time.
Skill fights back there, a little too pretty for Markel, so not going to find that kill right there. Syracuse starts to battle its way back in, but having 2 members fully committed on that old hill with 7 seconds left is not looking great. However, not very far to go into P1, so Secret going to start shooting, definitely is going to get called out, and so he will fall. But now the Hornets are really trying to break, and if some of the kills go their way, I think we have a clean break. Syracuse just playing scrappy, playing feisty, and we could see them regain the lead here.
Clutch. No, we can see them regain the lead here. They're playing good, and now they need to kind of hold their angles and make sure that don't let a Hornet break, because they've obviously been good at breaking. I think the key here is that Syracuse doesn't need to chow. They kind of, even use the kill feed and kind of see that they've been losing some of these chows, so they just need to sit tight and let the people come to them, and they do. Skip finds 2, Markel and Scarlet, or Secret, each find 1, but as we see, they do just kind of sit tight, and they're able to get almost a full 60, what will probably be a full 60.
Yeah, we're going to see a lead change here probably. Oh, never mind, as Die has other plans for that, but eventually getting back on the point, and again, going to fight for this last couple seconds. Either way, our attention needs to shift to P2. The Hornets' attention has already shifted there. Let's see if Syracuse can break.
Hornets already have a really strong hold, able to close down these angles. They kind of know the spawns. They know that Syracuse has to run in. Syracuse isn't going to have that many attempts to try and break.
Every angle being held by the Hornets right now, but gunfight's not going their way.
Skip with it.
For Skill. Skill gonna find 3, and more importantly, gonna find the time on a 4 spree for the young man, as his team is just laying down the hill and letting him roam around and try to get some kills.
Looking very good from Skill as he's able to turn it around. That trophy system gonna blow the nade up in Markel's face, and I mean, look, another good kills. Syracuse just letting the fight come to them.
Yeah, are we legal? Clinging onto that hill point, clinging onto his life before Markel has other ideas. Him and Die in the kill feed right now, as again, we're going to need to refocus our attention to the mini-map where the rotation is happening. Yeah. Number 7 finds a big kill right there, and now he's going to hop into the hill. Against Syracuse, a back and forth map. Yep. They've battled back from down early.
They have, and look at these KDs, and everybody was negative from Syracuse, but now look, 15-15, 18-15. You know, you got some players coming in positive, and that's what's good. But as I'm talking, I mean, 3, the most one-sided candy cane you've ever seen. As a team wipe comes through, make it a 5th. Hornets might be fighting back here.
5 unanswered for the Hornets, as eventually Spockful's nade is gonna find a Die, sir. Have a day with 2 on P1, and again, more importantly is the big numbers up top. great kill out of Troy, but eventually going to get traded out as we have a game on our hands. Syracuse looking to regain the lead with time in this hill. Worst case scenario for the Hornets would be a tie game. So as you can see, 2 of those members are starting the rotation. But Skiv is already there. The emergency sub from yesterday, the emergency sub for this team today, unfortunately going to fall under the bridge. And now we are going to see what these teams do. We've seen this hill get 60'd, and we've seen it get broken very quickly as well. So the battle goes into the garage, and both Syracuse players are going to fall right there. Headshot multiplier for Secret, so he's going to go 20 and 20. Die just doing what Die does, 25 and 12 out of the AR.
Great job from Die with that AR, able to lock down these long sightlines, just doing his job on Rio, sitting on the other sides of the door. Let's see who's going to break first. It's going to be Spockful, and of course that's going to happen. 2 for Secret. Tucks himself into a nice corner and gets rewarded for it.
Yeah, so Hornets are going to eclipse that 200-point mark. Just going to need about 27, 28 points to win the game on this next hill. Syracuse fighting back in this Van Hill. But again, the rotation is vital. 3 players are there for Syracuse. So if they are able to put a 60 together here, we have a really close next hill.
That's a big if, a big ask, as Troy and Secret each find a kill of their own, and they're going to have control of this point as Syracuse is going to have to put something together and rotate in.
Yeah, these ones are frustrating when you're doing everything you can, rotating as a group, but the kills aren't going your way when the enemy gets there. Just really demoralizing, but let's see if they can battle back and make a comeback for the Combine. But the Hornets not really agreeing with our storyline.
No comeback for the Combine.
And 2 gonna fall for Syracuse, as just about 20 seconds away from a map 4 victory are the Hornets. Good. And again, Die doing what he does, Spockful trying to answer back, but again, we've seen 1 step forward, 2 steps back for the Syracuse gunmen so far.
10 seconds, time is ticking down. Syracuse just have to kind of hold tight as Syracuse just throws everything they can at this point. It should be a pretty easy cleanup, working around everybody from Hornets, able to clean it up, and they are going to take this series 3-1.
Exactly, 250 to 171. So a bit closer than the map 1, which was 250 to 146. But overall, 3-1 might seem one-sided.
Yep.
The 2 hardpoint scores might seem one-sided, but a pretty good back-and-forth map in this one, and overall a back-and-forth series.
Definitely a back-and-forth series. Good job from Syracuse bringing it back, right? Able to kind of fight back a little bit, being down 2-0, fighting off the reverse sweep. But great job. I think I want to talk about I just want to. The players from Syracuse, they play good, but unfortunately, I think kind of Hornets. I mean, everybody on Hornets is just shooting at such a high level.
Yeah, and while there is no true affiliation or commitment with these players in the schools, definitely Syracuse and the Hornets might be reaching out to some of these players for maybe some 3v1 clutches or great rotations or really anything that we've seen so far. There's a lot of intangibles that need to be measured as well. We got to hear players' comms and things like that. But again, this is all to get the unknown to that short list of the college recruitment. And that's what we're going to be doing all day today. A couple more series coming up. We will let you know who the next teams playing are as soon as we know. But right now, we're going to take a little bit of a break, go grab a snack, go grab some water, and then we're going to hop into this next series. And we are in. So here we have the LSU Tigers and the Akron Zips. So again, no affiliation with these schools, just active schools within the Discord. The Zips are starting out so far so good on this Karachi hardpoint, as Tactico gonna hop into the hill in this P1. Daniel, the one map you said you were a little worried about other than Rio was Karachi.
Yeah, to me, this map is just a little weird. There's a lot of places you can be, and a lot of places your opponent can be. I think this P1 is actually really interesting. I think it's the hill being in the center and then the rotation early to P2. I like this. I like this going.
Yeah, I would agree. So far, so good again for the Zips, but again, with all of our hard points, P2 is the one you're really worried about.
That's right.
P1, especially on this map, can get nice and scrappy. Somebody I'm looking out for is one of my buddies, Live Evil. We go way back in casting together, playing together, all things like that. So looking forward to seeing what he can do and showing all the colleges what he can do, as well as the the rest of these players, and the Zips have the rotation. That is certainly what they can do, and they're just going to start funneling through the dumpster heady for displays, or excuse me, Kliz slays.
We'll go with Kliz.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kliz is balling out as we see Dasan here as well, 4-1 as we go to a new lobby, new names to learn. Yeah, I want to see some better teamwork from LSU Tigers. They're pushing in on P2, but they don't really need to be. They need to be fighting for P3. Yeah, they can pick up 15 seconds of scrap, but if the Zips, as they've shown, if they're on a point, they can hold it. So, yeah, I mean, they're gonna come in, and it's gonna be up to LSU as we see Gospel here coming around the back, but good job, good evasive movement from Big Luke. 4-2 himself finds the kill. Great job from him.
Yeah, Big Luke taking that Ben J Nassim route back there, and
right.
Tactico finds another kill as well. So top third goes Underworld, and he's going to see if he can pick someone off the point. However, top coop is where a gunfight goes down. Oxy with the Boston Breach little decal on the AR, something I absolutely love to see. And that's going to be 3 down for LSU. So having to regain, maybe starting an early rotation, but no, they get the close spawn, so they're going to hit it out here. 8 and 4 on your screen in the bottom. 8's going to find 1 kill, and looking for another one is Big Luke with the 2.0 AD right now. Oxy just trying to give somebody a haircut in the hill, and he's going to have to work up top third. Knows he's probably going to get hit out, and just gets traded by Tactico.
Good job from Tactico having the awareness, knowing his teammate died over there, knowing Big Luke went down, knowing that he has to kind of come in and save the day, and Tactico's going to already be there up top to kind of fight for this P4. And he's got himself a 5-6 streak. It would be great if his cruise missile worked, but unfortunately, the game sucks. So
Exactly. Another map in which some hard points have been retooled. So rather than being in the bottom of church, we're towards the back of it. And this is certainly one where it can get mixy. Very, very solemnly do you see a 60 on this hard point.
I definitely want to see something.
Okay.
From 60, or I mean from LSU, they definitely need a 60 to get back into this. And also Zips, they can almost afford to give this. They can try and break it once, but I mean they're trying now and it doesn't really work as Gospel takes down Kliz. Tactico does find your buddy Live Evil, finds 2. So he is playing good. He has kind of taken back control at this point. LSU, all of a sudden, I mean, they just let Tactico run in and start running wild.
Exactly, a multi-kill for him, and the Zips are looking pretty good. Up about 90 so far. We're going to see if the U18 Tigers can battle back into this one. So far, nothing crazy out of their kills. And again, all positive on the side of the Zips. 10-2, 11-2 for Tactico. So again, if that cruise missile could move left to right, he'd probably be using it as we head back towards Junk. 2 going the way of LSU. So they're going to try to funnel through and get these 2 guys off.
Yeah, they got to go fast because every second you wait is a second that Zips can start to get some reinforcements in here. Live Evil's going to be on top, going to fight, dies to Tactico, who finds another one with his nade. Tactico is just around the map doing everything right now. And LSU kind of get beaten back, but it's going to be a little bit of a hectic point here as the respawns start coming in.
So that's the thing. With these randomized teams, it's tough to work together as a team, but at the same time, there's no real skill-based matchmaking in terms of we could have a team of all ballers right here and not really know. So while fairness is the goal in all tournaments, this is to show players what they can do in their own match, what they can do on the fly, and what they can do with an AR is Oxy with a little hip fire right there as we return to P1.
Kliz finds himself a triple, and I mean, they're just locking down this P1. The hip fire kill is great, but if you're not able to convert it to a point, you might as well just go and, you know, eat a horse hoof.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I'm going to use that from now on. So now we can see an 120 point
Kliz with the rotation.
There we go.
That was great from Kliz, who finds himself a double.
Look at him go. He's doing it with his fist. He's doing it with his gun. I'm waiting for a Renetti kill out of him, and I don't think that's too unrealistic. Again, the gap is getting there. Do you think we see a 100-point club on this map 1?
Yep.
Oh, man, a few words right there as Luke trying to work in with the submachine gun. 2 LSU players right there, so not going to be able to do too much there.
Tactico coming in. He's done so much, finds one. Gonna go down behind him.
Yeah, Gospel using the Renetti through the back. 2 players in there. 1 just back in that back room up top there, so just soaking up as much time as you can. And again, you can probably eclipse the 100-point mark here, and then you'd still be down an entire hill. However, the good news for the Tigers is P2 is one we see that gets a lot of 60s. If you can chain that together with P3, you're right back in this game and potentially being able to take a lead.
Yeah, I mean, as we saw, LSU were kind of fighting for it, but they lost it. And Kliz is on this point, and he's just going to be able to kind of keep firing. But good kills, Underworld, Gospel, each combined. Point's going to be contested. Who's going to come out on top? It's going to be Underworld with the punches. But I mean, it's not out of the neck of the woods yet. And while this is happening, it seems like Zips kind of gets the know, and they might want to rotate him.
Yeah, Underworld knew there was somebody behind him, and the Tactico shots coming in with the Renetti. So again, it's getting bad to worse right now. A lot of clips being done by Kliz, by Tactico, and the rest of the Zips. Going to P3, and right now, they are the only ones there. The Tigers trying to rotate. Gospel, the closest one to the hill. But again, the spawns are not going to help the Tigers. Oxy trying to chase the kill right here. Might catch him off guard if Tactico gets this.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, he will.
Yep.
Getting shot in the back, plays his life a little bit, and just uses the SMG to his advantage. What a clip right there.
Yeah, Tactico starting to definitely, if people didn't know who he was now, people didn't know who he was before. So college starts to take note of who he is now, able to kind of just massage his way back behind this car, and he does end up finding the kill there before he shoots it out. But him and Kliz really just dominating on top of the leaderboard.
The way that man plays his life is something to be studied. I mean, I'm in college right now. I need a course in Tactico's life playing ability.
That's right.
And the 100-point club that Daniel predicted is going to come to fruition. 250 to 64 in map 1. The most dominating map we've seen today. And the Zips really taking a bold 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's just great individual play. Kliz and Tactico, and also, I don't want to overshadow Big Luke and Deshaun here. They were also doing very good finding the hills. Again, we don't have the hill time, but I imagine that they'd have a lot of it too.
Yeah, Big Luke, a name we called, especially in the early P1, P2 of that map, getting some really big entry kills for his players.
Center up. Kliz, 20 out of his 21 kills non-traded.
I mean, that's something you love to see. The man is playing out of his mind. And again, these players are restless, trying to wait and get into this semifinals action. Again, the winner will move on to the finals and play for the $100 bill.
For Benjamin.
Yeah, again, like we said yesterday, a lot of V-Bucks you could buy.
A lot of V-Bucks you could buy, and also like getting noticed by colleges.
Yeah.
I mean, take 100 and multiply it by 10,000. That could be what you're paying in tuition for some schools. Not if you frag out here.
Exactly. So again, the LSU Tigers and the Akron Zips not affiliated with these players, however, active in the Discord, and so we're assigning those schools those names. 2 schools with fantastic COD programs. Will any of these players actually end up go to those schools? The directors are watching. They're taking notes. My DMs are getting flooded from a couple of the Syracuse eyes that are watching. And so I'm sure the rest of the schools are taking note as well. We're heading into a terminal search and destroy after this. Into the terminal map 2, and the guns are shooting for LSU as they have the 3-1 life advantage so far. As Oxy looking for that final player. It's going to be Big Luke hiding behind a pillar. Will they push out and maybe feed him a little bit? But no, the kills are going to go the way of the Tigers, and they're going to find the 1-0 so far.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't cut the tail end of that, but I mean, it's Tigers gotta be able to. I was still thinking of the Hornets from last game. The Tigers gotta be able to turn it around, right? They kind of got washed on the first hardpoint map, and you gotta bring it back on SD. Because if you get 6-0'd here, that's
might be
going to control. It might be curtains.
Exactly. The control map is high rise, so definitely one you can have a momentum shift on. But Oxy starting out 2-0 here, leading the lobby as we head into round 2. Tactico gonna hit down by the terminal, send a stun. Live Evil probably saw the 2 coming his way, and they're just gonna bang out this plane. They're gonna work into it and see if they can lay it. The bomb is in the plane. Live Evil, Brody gonna find one right there.
Liz though finds another, and then the sun caught between a rock and a hard place, but the good job, the flank from Tactico, numbers win. And I
Yeah.
mean, they just good job playing numbers there.
The plant going to be there. Let's see if Oxy's going to find Tactico right here. If he can stay patient and maybe catch a head right here. Definitely saw him. So the firing's coming through, and a great kill out of U18 Oxy. 3-0 for him right now. Both players alive, have not died before, and it's going to stay that way as they take a 2-0 lead.
Great job from the LSU Tigers. I really do. I question the peak. Why does Tactical peak that? Tell me if there's a reason that I'm missing, but it doesn't feel like this is where my CS brain is coming in, and it's like, why are we peaking?
It's kind of like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. You don't know if somebody's going to come through your front plane, and your goal is to get that back plane area. It's a pretty good power position. So I think maybe he doesn't know Oxy's down there and just has to try to get into a safe space.
Because if he can secure himself back plane, then he doesn't have to worry about front plane.
Exactly. Plus he has the high ground. Technically has an advantage over Oxy, but as we can see, the man can shoot.
Yeah.
So here we go. Dasan working his way up through plane, hitting this out, and he's going to have some company very, very quickly. 3 Tiger players coming down the tunnel. Nobody's playing the little spot below the window to see how many players walk through. So they're not going to know unless the call out came through. The bomb going down. So 40 seconds remaining in this round potentially. In a 3v3 scenario, Big Luke with a big win.
Big win for Big Luke. 2v3. The LSU Tigers do have control of the site. The clock is ticking down, so Kliz is going to have to make his foray into the plane. They're going to come in from all angles. Tactico around the back finds one. Kliz with the refrag, able to just play off of each other, and they take their first round.
Yeah, bomb was only down for about 20 seconds before that flurry of kills came through, so definitely working in a smart way, working together. But like we mentioned, something we didn't see out of the last series, working very quick to try to retake that.
The bomb is taking away. The bomb is the ultimate decider.
Yeah, exactly. You can't gun them, hope to blow up their objective. That is the name of the game. Again, the attacking team is going to be Zips, so we're currently going to observe Oxy and his defensive format right here.
I'm curious to see, because I feel like a lot of times we've been seeing just fast pushes through plane to get onto this A site. We see Big Luke run out towards Burger, but the other 2 members keep playing towards this terminal area, and but Big Luke did find a kill over on B side.
Top of the mini-mac, Big Luke was in a 2v1, able to bring it back to a 1v1 Live Evil. Huge kill, getting out with his life, and healing back up under the plane. So now down to a 2v2. It's going to be Big Luke and Dasan against Live Evil and Underworld. We're going to see what they can do. The bomb is down in plane. We don't know if the Tigers know that. Tigers starting to split up, and now the bomb is going down. So they're definitely going to be aware now. Dasan may have seen Live Evil out there, and I think he did, so he's trying to peek him, but Live Evil didn't know where he was, so Dasan going to find him. 2v1 now for Underworld. And he has my preferred angle on this map, which is right under there. You could see if anybody goes into this terminal, but again, get some bad timing. And now we're trying to get him through cockpit. Saw a shoulder. Those 2 have to be in there. 20 seconds left. Big gunfight here. Underworld will find it. 4-1 for him as he now has to move. About 7 seconds left if he wants to be able to defuse it. Knows where he is. Gonna find the fight, but Big Luke coming up really big for the Zips.
Great job from Big Luke just knowing that Underworld is going to be on time pressure, right? You can have this fight not only because, right, Underworld probably knows he's hiding back plane because he saw the shoulder and whatever, but Big Luke knows that Underworld's going to be freaking out because he's got to do it quickly. So he's just able to slow it down, take that fight, and win. But great try from Underworld. Great kill that he was able to find on a Big Luke.
The thing with this plane bomb site is there are about 3 or 4 positions teams can do, so it's a very readable retake. However, you can't read the way the gunfights are going to go. So that's why it's scary to go to plane. Personally, I always like moving on the B side here, avoiding the tight quarters of the plane. But as I say that, we're going to see our first B hit here. Live Evil trying to work up through the smoke, not going to be able to see him, and now there he is. So he saw them go through Book, and he probably made that call out. Good 2 versus 1 on hallway. So Underworld going to find Tactico. And now it's a 3v2 for the attacking side. Probably have the time to put the bomb down, so they will. Underworld gonna fall back down to a 2v2. Kliz and Dasan versus Live Evil and Oxy. 2 members of the Tigers that have stayed up usually through the later parts of these rounds.
Dasan able to take the kill onto Oxy. Now it is Liv Evil in 2v1, rotating around, trying to find a better position. He's gonna come up behind these people. Is he gonna be able to make it work? Sees the kill to his left, takes the one top AC, now jumps into the point, but Kliz, a good rotate back around to find the kill.
Thought he knew where both of them were, as one broke the glass up top and then one worked his way in to try to get up to top AC. Gotta find one, but not gonna be able to find two.
I just really want to talk again about that rotating as we watch. Let's see what Kliz does here, because he goes up, because Liv heard the glass break up top, thinks that he's gonna have to look up and to the right, but Kliz turns around and goes right where his teammate was. When you're kind of in the moment like that, fragging, going from kill to kill, you're not gonna expect to be wrapped on the way that he was.
Exactly. So the Zips back on the attack. Again, no real big outliers here in the KD, but Zips taking 3 in a row. So definitely something to look out here as they have a lead 3-2. Gospel is going to get hurt up a little bit, but we'll see the action on this B site. A friendly stun right there out of Big Luke. And LSU seems to be scattered throughout the middle of the map. Number 4 Underworld off on his own, but he's going to need to wrap back and help his teammates out.
Yeah, and I mean, they know he's here, so the wrap, I feel like a wrap like this only really works if you can kind of get there unknown. But again, I mean, he also puts a thorn in Zips' side. But, I mean, they have to come, LSU, have to come to Zip, so they can almost just wait.
Exactly. The bomb down again, so everything's going to be a bit accelerated here. Underworld knows where one is, not able to connect on any shots, though. Tactico sits him down, as he'll have to heal up quickly here. The regen not going to be fast enough, and a 1v1 now. A pretty good position for both of these players on headies, and if you're the defending side, you just need to wait. I wouldn't push this if I was Underworld. You have the bomb on your side, but excuse me, I had the sides flipped up. Yep. Very good push out of Underworld.
Some would say, had to push.
Yes, exactly. So while the casting might not be great, the timing is greater, and Underworld's gonna get that.
Yeah, and I mean, smart. That's the right play from Kliz there, just to kind of sit there and just hope that the timing is gonna work out for you. It doesn't. Underworld, good head on his shoulders, able to realize that time is ticking down, that he needs to come back. And I mean, this is already a much better map than that first hardpoint was.
Obviously, one player has to win and one player has to lose a gunfight, but in terms of the college combine, I'd give both of those players a plus in terms of situational awareness, trying to play your life and use the clock, and also pushing out, again, with a 1.1 second differential. Fantastic job by Underworld, but also not too bad out of the Zips.
Fast push from B here, coming into the plane. Oxy finds that kill, and that's just going to be the bomb site right there, because Zips just lose the gamble and put too many on B.
Yep, Oxy turned on and tried to play with his food a little bit there, but not going to go his way. And then another shot in the back. 2v1. Underworld, the last one up. 8-3 for him, so if anybody can do it, he can, but he cannot when he is dead.
There's only so much you can do in that situation, especially I feel like this site is so hard to retake. They kind of have an idea that Underworld is coming from the terminal. Map is terminal. From the air. Yeah, that's the.
I call it terminal.
Yeah, from the pushing in from the terminal. Yep. So, I mean, it's going to be tough for him.
Exactly. So again, that was a big momentum shift round right there, where you have a tie game. Of course, something's got to give, and we're gonna see the Zips be the favored team right here as we go into the next round. 4 rounds to 3.
Curious to see what approach Zips take here, because we saw the really fast play plane that almost worked out. So I'm just curious. Are they going to kind of split it up, or are they going to know they're going to send one over to Burger, one through Library, and they're going to send 2 outside?
A lot of B pushes the past couple of rounds, but going back to what originally worked for both sides, which is the plane push. Gospel has it locked down, but can he get all 3 coming his way? He'll find one. Gonna have to run away with his life. Repositions, and Dasan is gonna get him right there. And now the Zips are gonna back up. Bomb is down. No real power positions out of the Tigers right now, so they're quickly going to run to plane. Not really know that the Zips are retreating back here, so both teams kind of in the blind right now.
Yep.
Yet eventually, Kliz is going to go down to bottom plane. Thought he saw the one to his left, not going to be able to. The Tigers tie it back up.
Great. Oh. Oh, man. Great play. Just great, solid Tigers able to kind of rotate around and see Live Evil. Good head on the shoulders, knows to play around that bottom plane. I think a lot of people can get lost inside of the plane, but the bottom of the plane is a pretty important spot to have control over.
Definitely a way to get mixy, if you will.
Yep.
4-4, again, a really good search and destroy after a lopsided 250-64 win for the Zips. Zips have a big round right here on defense. Don't let that bomb get down. Don't let your players die. And Underworld at 10-4 has some other ideas for his team, trying to take back the lead they once had in this. Oxy gonna find that first blood on Tactico, so that's a big one right there. Big Luke's still on the map, and he's played a pretty big role in this search and destroy so far. So definitely not in the clear yet, especially not when it was 3v3. As I say that, Tigers are going to take 2 down.
Yeah, it's a 3v1. It's going to be up to Deshaun here to kind of see what he can do. Creeping up top AC. This is a good position. That glass is already broken, but he's just kind of getting run down from everybody. Going to be stuck between, I mean, sitting duck in the crosshairs with 3 members of LSU. Bring it to match point, or game point.
Exactly, game point right here. As Live Evil will find that final kill, just narrowly avoiding his teammate in Gospel. And again, I think this would be really big. Don't try to go to round 11, because again, I've been talking to some of these players. They are nervous, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It means something to them. So if you go into a round 11 thinking all the directors are watching, taking notes, you're going to be thinking about that and not about what you want to do. So if you're the Tigers, you want to finish it here. And again, luckily enough, you're on defense, but the team comes to you.
Yeah, going down 2-0 would be such a tough thing. You want to get as many chances to prove yourself in this U18 combine situation. Live Evil and Tactical each find a kill. And the bomb can go down for LSU here. Ooh, good kill.
Oxy
through the window onto Deshaun. Underworld finds himself another, and I mean, Tactical now sitting in a 1v2.
You know what I think Oxy is short for? Oxy clean. That's how clean that kill was. I'm sorry. Please don't boo me, guys. And a big 2v1. Daniel's trying to leave the studio right now. Big 2v1 for Oxy and Underworld against Tactico. Tactico originally in the plane. Pops out and he'll find that kill on Oxy. So now time is on his side. Finds another one! And a huge 2v1 for the Zips right there. Pushing it to around 11.
Talk about individual performance that directors take note of. Having the wherewithal to be able to play in and out of that plane corridor. Obviously, that kill on Underworld was a great find, but I really thought the first kill to start that off was the most brilliant. Able to just kind of have that control of his character to go in, out, in, out, in, out, find the kill, and then back out. Has the idea, that Underworld's going to be coming inside plane, so he can just play outside, wait to regen, and find the kill. It's a great clutch.
Welcome to round 11, where college players are made. These U18ers are trying to show that they have the ice to the directors. Both teams sitting relatively far back. Looks like it's definitely a favored B hit for the Zips, but LSU has 6 isolated right here. Tactico is playing top AC. Does he know there are a ton of sharks circling around him? He definitely does now as he falls. Big Luke trying to get the trade. He will, and then he'll escape with his life. So down to a 3v3 with a minute to go in this round 11.
Control of the B site already is in the way, and Live Evil is going to try and take some of that control back, but Big Luke is going to be in the corner. Is he going to find it? No, going to be down low HP, but Underworld able to find the one. Being able to take one with him and turning on him is so clutch, and now it's Cliz in a 1v2.
A 2v1 right now. So definitely 40 seconds to go. Not to worry, as time is definitely not your friend here, but could be a bigger enemy. And as each second goes by, it grows as an enemy. He's going to wrap this into plane. Gonna check, see if anybody's there, and he'll get this bomb down.
The plane is pretty much gonna go to him. I like this idea from Tigers. They're just playing together, right? I think right in a 2v1, you can play together, you can split. They choose to play together here. I think that's the right call. They can do everything as a pair and hopefully be able to get the trade.
I am gonna disagree with you here. I think if you're Tigers, you have to go for a pinch. Now again, Cliz has been pretty good. He's been pretty clutch.
Around. They can just get on the bomb.
He's just moving a little bit here. 25 seconds. And he found one to his left. He's going to fall. So the 2v1 will not pan out for that one. Live Evil going to hop on the defuse. We have a 1-1 game after a dominant, a floor mopping hard point. What an entertaining search and destroy.
That was a very entertaining search and destroy. I think the thing here is how do the Zips, the Akron Zips respond? Because that definitely was a lot closer. That was a super hard fault map, whereas the first hard point was an absolute wash. So I'm curious to see, did the LSU team just need some time to kind of warm up, or did they barely squeeze that one out? But the talent of Zips might shine through on the second one.
Yeah, heading into a high-rise control, one of my personal favorite maps. Very
Yep.
excited to see how that plays out. But either way, we thought we might have had a pretty relatively quick 3-0 here, but
We
not
were wrong.
necessarily the case here. As we go into this map 3, we're going at least 4, as it is tied 1-1. So no sweep on our hands, no reverse sweep possibility either. Who are you favoring going into this high-rise?
I really. So LSU obviously has the momentum on their side, but I have to go with the Zips here. I think they
Okay.
were just so dominant on a hard point. I do think that, right, if they won dominantly, barely lost the next map, I have a hard time thinking that they're not going to be able to bring it back on map 3.
As we talked about before the first series of the day today, hardpoint, kind of a coin flip. You know, you get luck with spawns, things like that. Rotations might not go your way. Search and destroy, players can take over. We've seen a couple clutch plays right there. Ultimately, the teamwork winning the search and destroy in the round 11. And then control. It's the
Yep.
better team is going to win. So
Yep.
does the 250 to 64 mark prove that the Zips are the better team? Or did LSU just have a rough start? We're going to answer that question very, very soon as we hop into the high-rise control. Back into the control this time, and Daniel and I are on our feet here because we were just told there was some trash talk in the lobby in the meantime.
Yeah.
So if you see some extra shots going into some bodies, don't be too surprised. But Daniel and I were just saying, as we were in the Be Right Back screen, we are having a blast. This is a very entertaining matchup, and so add some trash talk in there, and we're even more excited.
I mean, that's just good. You know what the trash talk means to me? If I can psychoanalyze these players a little bit.
Yeah.
The LSU Tigers feeling themselves because they just won, but the Zips are saying, hey guys, what happened in the first map?
Yep.
You guys are garbage. You barely beat us. You got lucky. We're better than you. This map is going to be a big one in deciding where the momentum is going to go for the rest of the series. And I mean, so far, Zips kind of fragging out a little bit, but no, lives are even.
Yeah, so they are the defending side, so I think offense is slightly favored on this map, in my personal opinion, based off everything I've done. However, I've seen a lot of defensive maps pull it out. A lot of times it comes down to lives on this map. Big Luke taking 2 away from the Tigers, and now we might see a little bit of a spawn trap here. So again, offensive heavy if it's a fluid map, but if you get 4 down and you're put in a spawn trap, that's a GG. So we'll see if Tigers can work their way out of this one. Dasan finding Gospel in the elevators, and now time is starting to run out here. 14 to 20 is the life differential. Oxy trying to work his way up into Heli and try to take maybe a power position. It's definitely an A hit here for the Tigers. They're going to find 1, get traded out,
Luke.
and there are the Zips finding 2, and that might spell the end of this round. And a lot of talk, but for what out of LSU?
Yeah, they gotta get on this point. No, I thought Oxy was gonna be able to get on the point, but yeah, I mean, a lot of talk. Big Luke playing really good, able to keep himself alive. He has the idea that the time is running out. All he's gotta do is let it hit zero. So great job of being able to kind of clean up there. But yeah, I mean, moving into the switching sides, I'm curious because if Zips can continue the momentum and take this on attack, it might be not curtains, but the hands might start to close the curtain per se.
I could see that.
See
Definitely dominating, no ticks for the offensive side, and also down 16 to 9 in lives. So both the ticks and the life differential not looking favorable for them so far if this was to go to a round 5. So far, no first blood here. Probably going to be found in the bottom in the middle of the map. Big Luke going to find that as he's found most of the kills in this one so far. Tactico playing off of him. Both of them are going to fall. Kliz going to find Oxy though, and so now 28-28 is the life differential. Dasan doing exactly what I do as a team kill happens in the middle of the map.
Yep.
But Dasan doing
The
exactly what I
BCL.
do, getting right behind their enemy lines with the AR, and we're probably going to see him find one. There it is. He's probably going to find a lot more, but instead of staying back there, he's going to push up and try to stack this. He's watching over B Street, so B is practically gone, in my opinion, for the Tigers to retake. They're going to try to, but again, the spawn trap might come in here. Gospel spawns in the bottom, so that's how you know it's getting mixy in the middle of the map. Kliz with a wall bang on Underworld. Dasan getting in, and unless LSU has something to say about it, the B is going to be gone. A big gunfight right here, going to go the way of Underworld.
Wait a minute, BCL.
So, exactly. I'm coming to conclusions way too quickly, as we got a minute, 2 life differential, but 2 ticks going the way of the Tigers on B.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good push to try and delay this. I mean, you're playing the time here if you can just keep them up, but that's the thing about having those 2 ticks, that and Zips can kind of just come in, and if they are able to take you down in one spot, they're able to kind of just parlay it.
I love this angle out of Tactico. The only problem I have with it is the gun in his hand. Really hard to hold those angles with an SMG. However, I do, again, love the positioning. Live Evil knows one is working through their spawn. Gonna make that call out, but he'll have to play some hero ball right here. Dasan's gonna help him out in 2 ways, but as Live Evil falls, and then Dasan will fall as well. So the attacking side of the Zips are starting to do this. Tactico playing the front side of Hill. He's gonna find one, knows the rest of them are coming from the spawn. He needs some help. The players need to stack with him. He's just gonna be a one-man wrecking ball and try to get kills and kill time as Dasan on the Kelly Heady. Something that is very, very hard to kill.
Yeah.
And 2 ticks complete on that A with a minute 45. 7 lives for the Tigers. Can I call this one over?
You wouldn't be too far out of your shoes if you did. I mean, this is just going to be so hard to retake. I mean, yeah, it's over. 5 lives left. I mean, LSU would literally have to play better than anything I've seen ever in my life. And I mean, yeah, it's going to be hard. They can just sit on time, force the issue. Some of these individual players from on the Tigers just aren't having a good map. We see Gospel 3 and 14. I mean, that's just not going to cut it.
If I were the Tigers there, I'd run out and get killed. Don't really worry about your stats because, again, it's a lot more important to have the ticks.
Yep.
You gave up 6 ticks in that round to your 0. Again, 5 ticks isn't a lot better, but it is still 1 better than 6. So as you keep that 1 life, you don't get squad wiped, but still, again, if it does come down to a round 5 defense, it's going to favor Akron.
Yeah, I'm really liking what Akron's doing, and if you just look at the KDs, the scoreboard, it's looking a little bad. And as we saw before, LSU got washed on a hard point. So after this, keep in mind we're going to a hard point. We're not going back to S&D. If LSU can win this, or like they need to make it to that map 5 on S&D if they want a shot to win this series.
Exactly.
They need to. You know what I mean?
Yep.
In like a more important carnal type way.
I see. Live Evil opening up with some kills right there, eventually getting traded out. Oxy has kind of been the man for the Tigers right now, all series and on this map as well, as really everybody on the side of the Zips has been doing their job. Getting absolutely mixy, checking every angle in this hill, and the second he doesn't, he's going to get pushed out and killed. So Tactico coming over the top here, clearing off that point, as Akron is the defending side, giving up 1 tick already. 2 fall for the Tigers. Only down 1 kill, but Dasan has 3 in a row. Tactico with a jump shot on Live Evil. Dasan gonna follow that up as well. Big Luke just trying to get out of his spawn. He'll find a really good one and some body shots.
There it is.
That is the place to do it. In green, if you gun someone, you gotta let him know. And can he be stopped is the question.
Yeah,
eventually the stun will come in, but again, we heard some trash talk. We've seen some body shots. I hope this goes to a game 5.
Me too, but it doesn't. I mean, LSU are gonna have to pull some out of their backpack if they want to do it. I will say Oxy's playing a lot better, able to even up his KD. Underworld too, finding a few clutch kills, but Big Luke just on the other side of the map, 18 and 12, now 18 and 9 too for Dasan. So Zips are just playing very, very good, but LSU here, I'm going to they're going to have to keep control of this as Oxy makes that good play, but doesn't keep watching the angle, and Tactico comes through with the trade.
Gospel might need to rethink his gamer tag, maybe rebrand to BCL at 5-19. Not looking too good for him so far.
That's right.
However, the Tigers split on the map, all converging over to this B site. That's the one they want to hit. 3.5 on the game clock, so they'd have to go huge. Not impossible, but improbable. And now, with no time on the clock, definitely impossible for the Tigers. A 3-0 there for the Zips in a dominant fashion.
Yeah, I mean, trash talk in the lobby into the trash talk into get bodied combo is just a little too much for LSU to try and overcome. And again, do just kind of want to bring back up that these schools are not affiliated with these teams. They're just affiliated with the league.
Yep.
These are the schools that were active in the Discord, so none of these players are committed to any of the teams we're playing for. Rather, just kind of a placeholder name to show some support to the schools that have been involved in the process.
Exactly, but if I'm the Zips, I'm looking at Dasan and saying maybe we get that guy a jersey, maybe we get that guy out to Akron, as he's been representing that name very, very well. You kind of mentioned it though, so LSU, or the LSU representatives, looked really good in that search and destroy, icing up and winning in that round 11, but 100-point club map 1, 3-0'd map 3. Do we see a response out of them in map 4?
We're going back into hard point. We're going to need to. I mean, we're going to need to. If we want to keep this going, we're going to need to. I'm looking to see, because Gospel obviously didn't have the best map of control there. These players playing for LSU just gotta kind of play better. I think it's that simple.
Yeah, we're heading back into a Rio, again, a very one-sided map. We have seen some relatively large comebacks, whether you're down 50, you're down 70, and able to flip that by chaining a couple hills together. We saw that a lot today, earlier on in some series, especially in that the Syracuse and Hornets representatives. We had to restart that map, and about 100-point lead very quickly got turned on its head. So definitely something we want to keep an eye out for here, especially with some momentum shifts coming from both of these teams. But again, that'll be remains to be seen as we wait for this next one to get started. Map 4, don't go anywhere. We could push this to map 5. One of these teams is playing in the finals. We got to find out who after this. Quick turnaround right here as we are back into a Rio hardpoint. Tigers looking to extend this into a map 5, but the Zips trying to shut it down. Kliz and company trying to kill Gospel, but Gospel so far turning it around very early in this game, but 2-0 for him.
Already able to bring it back. Tactico, sorry, bounces around that little thing. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of fight, a lot of scrapping coming out here for P1. A little bit of a candy cane kill feed, but I mean, a lot of purple there as LSU find a few good kills, but still aren't able to convert them to any meaningful time.
Somebody in the chat start making a graphic tee that's candy cane kills. That has been the theme of today and even yesterday in the 2v2, which we had a blast doing. But Underworld, is he going to find his teammates and try to regroup through the back of this P2? Again, 17, 18 to 9 in the P1. So not a lot of time right there. Where we see the chunk of the time is where, Daniel?
Chunk of the time.
P2. Exactly. Everybody's learning here. So Akron right now, or the Akron representatives, have that P2. The Tigers are going to have to funnel in, and a really nice kill from Oxy. We've seen him a lot with the AR. Pulling out a sub on a map like Rio is something you see a lot of times from college players, and these U18 players are no different. Tactico hunting around in the back of his spawn. What have you liked so far from the Tigers here?
It just feels like they're getting more kills than they did in the last round. Obviously, Libby, you know, don't love to see the 1 and 5 there, but it's still early. Still bring it back. Good job fighting for this P2. Most of the time is on P2, and honestly, since this game is super scrappy as Oxy tries and comes in, he's gonna just leave the rest of that time. 5 seconds, not really worth fighting for, but we've seen this game is super scrappy, so every second is almost gonna count.
Almost a team kill there from Live Evil in that nade. But a lot more engagements, I think, so far as a Tactico team nade comes in. A lot more engagements by this point of the map than we'd see on average. Again, not a lot of time for either of these as we're about to hit that 60-point mark for the Zips. But definitely lots of kills going back and forth. Maybe not for individual players, but overall the kill feed has been going insane so far. Something we see on Rio a lot of times, especially with that extra sub pulled out. And Oxy is doing so far so good with that backup weapon. Again, I thought he's been phenomenal on the AR, but being able to show to these colleges that he's more of a flex player apparently.
Yeah, he can do it all, and that's definitely something that these schools like to see. Flexibility in their roster. Obviously, you can only carry so many people on a roster and on your bench, so to have someone who can kind of fit in both roles is going to be a super valuable skill for these colleges to have. But first, you got to show them, and that's kind of what he's doing.
I think I've cracked the code on the Tigers' hardpoint struggles. If you look at the minimap, no rotation so far as they battle for that scrap, which is obviously important with every second counting. But you're going to need to rotate, especially on a map like this where the Zips can kind of set up. Each angle is covered except for where one is sneaking in. So one is Gospel. He might be able to slip through the back and find something here. Not going to be able to.
On it.
Just going to be red like a book, green, eggs and ham, if you will. Underworld working his way in. Getting the contest, probably gonna get shot in the back here from Garage. He's gonna be the one shooting in the back. Runs out of ammo, Big Luke shuts that down.
Not able to find it. You really hate to see, as it feels like LSU, they do a little something, they find a good kill, they get a good rotation, but then they just fall down. It feels like, it feels like Zips is kind of playing a 5v4. It feels like the Tigers are man down, which you never really like to have it. Like, when it feels like that, you know one team's doing something pretty good.
Exactly, but again, a map where we've seen some pretty significant comebacks. This one a little over an entire hill, so you string a 60 and maybe a 30 together, and we have a tie or lead change game. So Tigers are going to be the first one to this hill. Not very many Zips players nearby. Number 5 trying to do something fancy right here. Dasan going to find 2 as I say that, and that is going to be 3 down for the Tigers. Like I mentioned, absolutely demoralizing when you have the rotation and just fall.
Yeah, but I mean, no one's getting this time here. Liz is kind of just sitting back point. Some scared him away from hopping on that time, and now he's getting contested. Live Evil team kills, but finds the force shot out by Luke. Underworld, the Sun, each finds some kills. But no one can quite find this time. They're just scrapping for it.
That's the beauty of being Zips right now. If you have a relatively large lead, you can just play back, get some kills, and assume that Tigers are going to be hitting as a group, because that's the best way to break a hill. So if you find 2-3 kills, you can then hop back on that time. That white 15 seconds doesn't really matter too much in the grand scheme of things if you're able to find the kills and trade it for some time. So far, so good on P1 for the Tigers, though, as they try to battle back in this one. Trade's not there, and Big Luke, sir! What did you do to them?
Big Luke put his big foot down. Was able to find some good kills, but again, and not really able to transfer it into anything. Dasan finds a good kill at Cliz, but Gospel coming through. Candy Cane kill feed, although it's like a double width Candy Cane. Yep. Right as I say that, though, LSU, of course, finds some kills overall.
Exactly. Again, it's felt very dominant, but this P1 has kind of brought the Tigers back into this. Again, certainly a 50-point game is not something, and again, it's probably going to be more of high 60, low 70 game after this P1. But definitely not something that's impossible.
Nope.
And definitely not as improbable as some of those control situations. So Live Evil gonna get hit through the back from Big Luke. A great pinch right there from him and Dasan. And they seem like they want it more. They're more aggressive, they're hitting teams out, and not really caring about a strategic setup.
Yeah, but I mean, again, as you say that, it kind of goes the other way. Zip's able to find some good kills, and they're able to do it. LSU kind of tried to get their foot in the door, but I'm really, this is a curious play here from Zips though. But sorry, excuse me, just able to wrap it up. Gospel finds himself a double, but now Zips able to find the kills, get on time, and they're gonna kind of keep points in.
No word on who either team is going to be playing in the finals yet. But again, we still have a great series on our hands here as the Tigers are going to try to get this to the 90-point mark. Again, that entire hill gap seems to be the consistent gap that they can't get past. Big Luke, my goodness, have a map, young man,
Yeah.
as he is really, really working his tail off for the Zips right here. And again, last one at the old hill. He's definitely going to be the furthest behind. He's going to get shut down by 2 Tigers as they work their way over to this back of P3.
Able to find some good kills. Don't want to distract too much from the sun though. 20 and 2 himself, finding good frags. Live Evil and Gospel playing good there, playing together, able to find the important frags to try and keep control of this point because they're losing. And you know, I mean, few kills go the wrong way like that, you could be looking at a 100-point lead.
Yeah, this hill is vital for sure. Half of it is gone until the Tigers have taken over here. That is going to be 2 down. Big kill for Live Evil, trying to get every second on that hill. If he fell there, that would be over half the time towards the Zips. And something I talk with my team all the time, maybe not in situations like this where there's a multi-hill lead, but mathematically, you need 31 seconds on each hill to beat your opponent. You just need 1 extra on each hill. So again, every second counting, and especially around the 30-point mark when that turns white, you want to turn that to your team's color, but the kills just not going enough the way of the Tigers.
Oxy finding a really good spot behind there. Live Evil's gonna have to find this kill in a Tactico. He does, but Cliz is running in on a rampage. Finds one, looking for the second. Can he find Gospel? Yes, he can. They should be able to transfer this, get a lot of points as Cliz goes on the 3 streak.
That might be the dagger. Dasan has that useless cruise missile, and so he's going to continue to use his gun rather than shoot from the sky, as they are looking to make this comeback insurmountable. As we're a little past 100 and a little past 200 going into this next hill.
Yeah, I mean, this type of lead just affords you so many advantages that are just so hard to fight past. Live Evil able to get the trade, but I mean, Tactico, everybody on Zips just firing all cylinders here. Tactico, I mean, he's 18 and 23, but he still feels like he's finding good kills. Oxy there takes down Dasan, but again, Tactico, Big Luke just keep running into the trades. And it's going to be really tough for LSU to mount enough of a push back to come back.
I think the biggest thing with these players that we've seen is, yes, they can all shoot, but even if they got a shaky shot, the drop shots and the jump shots are going to absolutely insane for both of these teams. The movement is unmatched. The young thumbs are putting in the work. And the Tigers find 3 of the Zips so far. Underworld trying to rally his team to a comeback here as they are under the bridge, soaking up some more time.
Yeah, I mean, they're try as they may. They can keep trying, but Cliz and Big Luke each find another one. Oxy's gonna do his best, and they're gonna get some good time on the clock here. Actually, some pretty good time. I mean, if you want to come back, this is how you got to do it. But so Zip should just be saying, let's rotate new now.
I would go if you're the Tigers as well. That 7 seconds isn't gonna change the game so far with you this far down. So you got to rotate. P1, they've historically been pretty good so far today on this map and hard point. Oxy going to find one, trying to wall bang the second, as he has some reinforcements, but Cliz is going to take them down. Dasan finds 2, and he might be the dagger. Live Evil on his way up the Eskies, and Dasan doesn't know he's there. Liv found at least 2,
and
let's see if he can get the kill. He's waiting for teammates to come in. Bullets flying at him. 2 going to go down. Oxy going to find a trade. And Oxy jump shot and trying to keep his team in it, but I don't know if it's enough. The game is winnable if you're the Zips on this hill right here. The Tigers 2 down, now 4 up, needing to rush into the hill. They need at least 7 seconds of contest time to push this at least one more, and that doesn't even begin to explain the other comeback they would have to make.
I mean, they're doing a good job not losing right here, but I mean, as you're saying, they need to contest, and they do it, so their Zips aren't going to win here, but they're going to rotate and look at number 8, Big Luke, already the first one on P2. We always say P2 is where the points are made, and they're on it now. It's taking away, the re-push is coming in. LSU's trying to flood into the point, but Big Luke, everybody, the shooters on it, just do a job and close down the angles, and that is going to do it. The Zips are going to take hard point on Rio, and they're going to take the series.
Exactly, 148 to 250, a little bit bigger than 250 to 64. But regardless, that's going to be the series for this one. The Zips are moving on to the final.
And I think that's kind of what I think they deserve that. I think Zips played better. Don't get me wrong, LSU did play very good on that S&D map, but I do just want to talk about on LSU Underworld, 33 and 21 on a map where I mean him and his teams didn't do great. Great individual performance from him. And some other members, Live Evil playing pretty good, Oxy Gospel as well, but I mean Zips, Dasan going crazy in that map.
Yeah. The Lions and Hornets still battling it out to see who's going to go to the finals and face the Zips. But overall, I think we saw some lopsided scores in that one. But overall, a pretty good series and a textbook college combine series in terms of players on both sides showing their gamer tag and showing the worth it has.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They're just doing it. They know how important this is for them. And they're not letting the opportunity be lost on them. And Dasan's probably getting hit up now.
Exactly. So I know the players are going to grab some water and regroup going into this finals where $100 and bragging rights is on the line. We're going to grab some water as well as we can't wait to get into this finals. We'll see you guys really soon. And we're back here in the finals with quite different rosters. Lots going on in the chat in terms of teams needing subs and all that. But again, in the end, we are here to crown a champion, $100 and being on the short list for some schools. So a couple subs of notice as the lobby is going to drop. So Big Step is in, Geo is in, and Markel, I don't even know what the subs are at this point. This has been fantastic so far.
Well, okay, so we didn't have Big Step in.
Correct.
The other person, Geo's new.
And then whoever left.
Yeah, Markel wasn't on Zips, was he?
Let me check the notes. He was not. No. So Markel coming in.
Dasan is out, which is a bummer because Dasan was balling.
Yeah.
Dasan did really good on that against the LCU there.
Yeah. So again, this is not going to matter right now. However, the map pool, if we can figure out the rosters and such, is going to be Karachi, Invasion, Skid Row, and Karachi. So
great. Didn't want to play any other map.
Cool. Nice little Invasion sandwich right there, or Karachi sandwich with Invasion as the meat and cheese. Speaking of meat, I'm missing the map meat from yesterday.
I'm not.
You're not?
Nope.
We're not a fan.
Nope.
All right, you prefer this 4v4?
Yep.
Okay.
The only thing that's worse about this is that I'm really hungry.
Yeah.
It takes a while.
No, we are really hungry again.
But this is more important. Look at us. We're sorry. The camera's blurry. The camera's hungry.
The camera's tired.
The camera's starving.
So while we figured out what these new rosters exactly look like and what the lobby looks like exactly, we're going to throw it to a little be right back screen.
Yeah.
And we promise we will be here for a star-studded finals no matter what 8 end up happening.
That's right.
Guess who's back? We are, and so are the players. So again, Bigglesworth and Big Steppa subbing in.
2 players from yesterday who we haven't seen today.
As well as Geo and Markel. So 2 subs for each side on this Karachi hardpoint as we actually get the game going here. Big Steppa, Markel gonna trade each other out, so the newcomers putting in some work. Collision working up top third. Kliz gonna find Shoddy, and Collision gonna find Kliz. Big Steppa with a nice nade right there, and the top third battle is underway. Big Steppa shuts it down. He's taking the hill time, and he's taking the kill feed as well.
Yeah, like you said, that top third battle is so important. It really feels like on this map, whoever gets the high ground wins, because when you're on point, you can just kind of rat in these little corners, these little edges that the Rebel gives you, and if no one's on top to kind of shoot you down from above, it's going to go pretty quick. Like, good job from Shoddy there, picking up Geo as he tries to come in behind, and rotations for this P2 are going to come in, and Zips are going to be on at the start.
Again, P1 practically irrelevant, especially on a map like this where P2 is so vital. If you get them in the dumpster hop-up trap, it is all over, but we've just seen the Lions with a break of the tournament right now, working their way into P2, not really caring about anybody. As Big Luke's going to fall, Bigglesworth is going to come out on top. The jump up, aforementioned dumpster jump up, is going to be in play right now as we have some nades coming in, but the trophies, gonna intercept that. Gonna have to hit out, and Big Luke will finds the wall bang on collision, works his way through the back of P2. Just gonna be a little bit of a Big Luke sandwich. Again, the Lions starting to run away with this one early.
Yeah, I mean, they're just finding the kills. They were able to break. You know, it's not a great sign when you rotate early, but then you just kind of get broken on, and then you're kind of just stuck. Lions, again, able to rotate to P3 to get there before. They're winning these scraps that Zips is trying to throw at them, and again, I mean, they're just winning it. Even with Big Steppa sitting to pick up scraps on time, they're able to just rotate new and win the gunfights.
So as a team, you need to pick, do we want this scrap or do we want to row new? And the Zips do neither there, all right? So
They do both.
No, the Lions.
Oh, the Lions do both.
The Lions get the scrap, and the Lions go to the new hill. Shoddy with a nice two-piece right there. Geo struggling, although he did just come in a little bit cold. So 1-6, but again, being thrust into the grand finals, kind of like we saw yesterday. Something about these grand finals and players needing to go off in their own direction. Some players not wanting to play with others. Again, in a college combine, something you don't like to see.
No, something you don't necessarily love to see, especially because, again, there's a lot of directors, a lot of esports personnel watching this. Also, good time to mention, as Collision finds a good kill here, that these schools aren't, these players aren't representative of these schools.
Correct.
Instead of four, just want to kind of double say it again. You know, these schools are just the teams that have been active, teams that have been involved in this combine scouting process, so they get their names on the big screen. But as we're saying that, the Akron Zips might not be proud of the people wearing their name right now.
Exactly. 25 right now. They're trying to get a little bit more than that, but again, all the kill feed is blue. Big Steppa 9-3, picking up where he left off yesterday, the champion, and $25 to his name from the 2v2 yesterday.
Yeah, him and Bigglesworth really stepping in here without stepping in raw or cold, and really finding good kills. Shoddy there with the double. I mean, the fight for this point is going the way of the Lions. Markel's gonna try. He was playing very good earlier, but unfortunately that one doesn't go his way either. And the Zips have to change something up because it's really not working for them.
Well, in the intermission, we saw the chat and people were calling for subs, and the name you immediately blurted out is in this lobby. Tell us about your favorite player.
I love Bigglesworth. Bigglesworth is my favorite. I love Bigglesworth.
13-6 for him, showing off for Daniel so far.
That's my goat.
3 go to the Zips, trying to work their way back into this one at the Junkyard Hill, seeing what they can put together. If they can put a 60 together, they can make it respectable. But again, over 120-point disadvantage for them. So definitely a lot of hill time to soak up if they want to get back.
This angle from Shoddy is something I really like, and he's going to try and shoot down, but eventually he gets taken down by Markel, and it does look like as some kills flowing in, Zips are able to keep control of this. Collision tries to peek out from the right, but he's going to die to Markel as well. He gets who's on his 3 streak, kind of maybe he's starting to heat up, and maybe, who knows, maybe Zips are starting to turn on, but my man, Bigglesworth, comes in with the kill, and we should start seeing some rowing out here for both teams.
Again, 2 drastically different stories in terms of substitutes. Geo 6-13 right now, Bigglesworth 14-8. But again, it is just map 1 in this best of 5, so lots of game to be played. We've seen a lot of series have some blowouts in the hardpoint, but be very close in the other modes. Again, like we've kind of mentioned, hardpoint can be that coin flip based on spawns, positioning, things like that. And again, these players not really having a lot of experience with each other, especially in this grand finals where we just went into the chat and picked some random people. So back to the P1 we go. Shoddy gonna find a blood right there, but somehow the Zips are going to stay in the hill. Markel gonna be the hill kitten of choice at the moment. Big Steppa trying to shut him down. He will. So Big Steppa up in this cubby, watching over that P1, but yet the Zips are still on it. Big Steppa gonna fall, so somebody from the Lions, if they want to contest, will have to work their way over. Currently at P2, at the top left of your mini-map, number 4, number 6, number 3, all having a party at the diner. 6 is working his way in. Big Luke has a big gunfight, and he'll win it. So huge kill on the rotation, and if you look back up at the top of the scoreboard, this game seems a lot more close than it once did.
It really does. Great job from Zips. Kind of able, individual players, their performances, they're starting to heat up, right? A lot of subs came in, a lot of people that weren't playing before, and it's starting to really come out for them. Markel sitting behind this dumpster heady, but Shoddy's going to come out. No, he's there. Find the kill for, he's traded out. And again, right there, trading out, right? That's the name of the game. Play slow, play smart, and play with your team, and Zips are doing a lot more of that now.
Again, similar to the plane bomb site and terminal. The P2, there's only so many places you can go. There's definitely more than in plane, but you kind of know the set meta of where players are sitting. The one thing you can't predict is the way the gunfights are going to go. So a big win out of Shoddy there, getting the Lions some extra time here. But now, again, focusing on the rotation. Who will have it? Right now, looks like the Zips have this one down as 3 players are on their back line. And number 5, Geo at the top, or excuse me, the left side of your screen, might come around the back and pick up 2 players right here.
Great plays here out of this team. I like this teamwork, this new capturing of the point, this rotation coming out early from Zips. That's what we're seeing them do now that they weren't doing before, just rowing early, rowing first, being able to importantly win those gunfights on the point.
We have an opportunity for a tie game here, depending on how P3 goes for the Zips. Geo starting to heat up himself, the rest of the players continuing to do what they have been doing. Now, what can Bigglesworth, Big Steppa, and company do? Shoddy finding some important kills, but the man of the moment is Bigglesworth. As I mentioned, Shoddy finds 2 right there. Bigglesworth back into the hill, and Shoddy is going off on a 5 spree right now, really trying to speed this game up and not go to the 200 mark.
You love that from Shoddy, saying, okay, this game's getting a little too close, taking it into his own hand as he almost finds another, gets some good shots down through these long angles, but Kliz, the high ground, is going to win out, and they're going to be able to pick up scraps on this point, and also rowing early. Lions aren't really getting towards this new point here.
About a 1-hill game entirely. If they want to tie this up, they being the Zips, and they're gonna get some entry kills right there. But again, this is a hill that likes to go back and forth. Now, if you're the Zips, you really gotta hope some kills go your way and you're able to hold on to this hill. If you're the Lions, you don't necessarily need to win here. You have the opportunity to, but again, every second is counting towards less work you have to do on the rotation. So the Zips are really in a disadvantageous spot right here, trying to fight for their their map 1 lives, whereas the Lions can really do whatever they want within reason.
Yeah, they can. They have a lot of time to play with, and it just makes it that much harder for the Zips to try and get a comeback in. They can get these 20 seconds on the point all they want, but if Lions just are smart with their rows and get out early and get out first, it's going to be almost impossible for Zips to come back. That being said, they're doing a good job. Good kill there from Luke, just to prohibit Lions from picking up scraps on that point. And the fight for the new point continues, and maybe the Lions are coming out on top.
Yeah, we look over to the Junkyard Hill. Big Steppa with a big kill on the rotation. Zips gonna have to make something happen here. All funneling through bottom red. At least Markel will find one with a nade, but Collision is on a tear.
Get on the point.
And that looks like it might be it. However, Big Luke has some other things to say to us. Geo getting jump shotted by Collision, and that's a kill he wanted, but not a kill he needed. As again, pushing Geo back is gonna give him and the team more time. 3 seconds remaining on this one. Gonna find one. Will he find Markel? Not even gonna matter. The Lions are gonna go up 1-0 in this grand finals.
Really solid play from the Lions, able to bring that back. After got a little bit hairy, they just kind of remembered, okay, let's get to the points. Let's row fast and let's be there first. Collision, again, done a good job here knowing that they have to run on. You can just kind of sit there and wait. And that's why as much as you can try to come back and as you might want to, like, you know, you're down by a lot, but you bring it back, that's cool and all, but it's not going to matter if your opponent just gets too much points, because some comebacks just are so hard to come back.
Yeah, no, definitely a lot of work put in by the Zips there, trying to make it more respectable. And I think they did a pretty good job. But one thing I saw, at least in map 1, that I hope we see the rest of the grand finals is some players just saying, screw it. I'm going to take over. I'm going to show what I can do. So while we haven't seen a ton of interesting team plays so far out of both of these teams, again, map 1, and they just kind of got thrown into these teams. So not too critical on that. But if there's an opportunity to just have streaky plays for both sides, we're going to be in for a really good series.
Looking forward to it.
All right, so we're going to be loading into Invasion, Search, and Destroy in map 2 in just a little bit. But again, us casters are thirsty after a back and forth map 1, so we're going to take a quick break. We're back here in map 2 on Invasion. Search and destroy, Bigglesworth being the bomb carrier for the Lions so far, and they are hard hitting this A side. Let's see what the Zips try to do to counter this. Daniel, on a map like Invasion Search, what are you looking for both of these sides?
I'm looking for smart play. I'm looking for control of angles, right? With these MCWs, I'm looking for the rival signs to get in close just like that, right? G able to find the kill on a big step up. Markel able to shoot down Bigglesworth from across the map. I'm looking for players to be annoying, to be nuisances, and to have smart rotates right there. Collision, kind of in the right spot at the right time, gets the kill on a big Luke.
Collision, a big kill right there. Markel hops on the bomb. Collision gonna find one. Will he stay on the defuse? He will. And now Collision's gonna work in with the pistol. He's not gonna find him, so Gio's gonna get the kill and be able to win the round. Absolutely huge out of Gio, finding 3 of 4 in round 1. Daniel, my goodness.
Yeah, people in the Discord were talking some trash. They didn't want Gio in. They were scared of him, and maybe for good reason. Gio finds a good clutch 3. That last kill, dancing around the bomb, able to debate out the defuse. I mean, really, really, really good stuff.
Absolutely fantastic. We get a defuse about halfway without a kill. Hops off of it, finds the kill, and re-ups with the defuse. So fantastic work, but that is just one round. The objective of the game, you gotta win 6. So we're gonna see, is this a defense-heavy map? Or are these teams just going to go back and forth? Maybe one of these teams gets on a run. But Gio finding 3 again halfway to that cruise missile doesn't entirely matter, except on search, you can get some pretty good intel with it up in the air.
That's right. You can know where the people are, and it's not going to find anything because the game sucks. But let us not worry. Interesting plays here. I really love that aggressive push from Luke, as you see in your menu on bottom left corner. Luke pushing in there. Taking map space away from Lions, just make it hard to rotate, make them think about every action, every place they go.
Big kill right there. Down to a 2v2 with the bomb down, about 35 seconds left before that thing goes boom. And both of these Lions players are kind of far from each other. Number 4, Bigglesworth, going to try to rotate through mid to help his teammate out in a gunfight with Cliz right now. But both players going to run away. So both of the Zips are going to play next to each other. Bigglesworth needs to go gigantic right here, and he will fall. So the Zips going to find that round on your favorite player.
Yeah, I mean, Bigglesworth, the guy, the GOAT, the man, the buster, the kid. Oh, unfortunately, I got so excited about Bigglesworth. No matter, makes no difference. Yeah, great job there from Zips, just playing smart, having good rotations. I really like that aggressive play that we saw at the beginning and netted them a kill, and they were able to just run with the advantage.
Exactly. Daniel is just throwing wires, throwing bottles and everything. He is hungry, and he is hungry for a good series as well. 3-1, 4-1 for Big Luke and Gio. Markel finding one as well, but Cliz looking to open his bank account. So is Bigglesworth and Shoddy. We'll see what happens here. Big Steppa gonna find a hard stun right there. Should be able to secure the kill. He's gonna be able to, but help was there in case he couldn't. Collision working around the backside of DVD. Might want to bust out that door, but players falling around him. All of the Lions are around DVD, working towards the middle, or excuse me, by Cafe, eventually getting onto the A-bomb, putting that down. So Bigglesworth will get the plant down, and now it's just Cliz in a 3v1 with time as the enemy as well.
It's going to be a near impossible clutch. He's dancing around this tank. Collision's just staring at him. Collision's going to take him out. I thought I wanted Big Luke to find more on his flank that he kind of was trying for, but he unfortunately lost the first gunfight. We didn't see it, but still not exactly what I wanted to see from there. But you know, good job to the Lions, and let's see if they can keep it going.
Exactly, not going down 3-0, punching back down 2-1 in this one. Again, we're gonna stay on the same map for control. And so something, I mean, our COD team just witnessed the other day in reverse sweeping. When you stay on the same map, different modes, if you punch back, taking 2 in a row is great. Because especially if it's a big comeback, you want to get off of that map. You're trapped on it for the control, regardless of whose pick it is. Definitely something we could see a momentum shift and maybe Zips take 2 in a row. But regardless, Collision going to find the first blood.
Bigglesworth.
The rest of the Lions going to help him out. As Markel has the bomb and has a kill, but
It's
nothing
swarmed.
more than that.
Yeah, I mean, just great aggressive play from the Lions, able to get a few kills early, and at that point, when you get 2 kills right off the bat, sucks.
It does. I mean, simply put, but no need to elaborate on that. Bigglesworth shots in the back, and gonna help him and the team right there. We're gonna switch sides as we do every round here, so the attack will now be the defense. Again, no strong side in this map so far. 2-2. Shoddy still has not opened that bank account, but neither has Kliz. Both of them on a James Bond watch, but we're only about halfway there.
Right.
Geo pushing up through Cafe, old P1, and he's gonna do my favorite spot, which is this little jump up.
Didn't know this existed.
I got very, very angry when this got done to me in a scrim. That's how I found out about it. But regardless, Geo's gonna be up there, and Collision getting some shots out. Not sure he knows that it's clear right now. And all four of them can really just hammer it home and plant this bomb pretty much free of charge. We're gonna have to see what the Zips want to do here. Two of them kind of looking down dark hallway. Gonna hit through mid cut. 8 on 3. 3 gonna get out with his life. So Big Steppa, while he's hurt, will get out initially and then fall in DVD. Now down to a 3v2. The B bomb is down. So Zips have the numbers, but do not have the time on their side. Gonna have to find something here. They will even the numbers up. Collision will find another one. And now Collision on a power position, but needing to find 2. And again, the time is that third enemy, Bigglesworth.
Yep, play your life, good.
And Kliz gonna fall. So the Lions will take that one in a bit of a sticky situation for both teams. Nobody really wanted to bite too hard, but overall the Lions take a third.
Yeah, in that 3v2 situation, I think the Lions played it very well. Just trust in your angles and trust that you can hit your shots and play for your life. Bigglesworth, again, playing for his life there at the end was so smart because it forced Kliz to be cognizant of two people pushing in there. And yeah, I mean, they just kind of sat tight and trusted they could hit their shots, and it paid out, worked in their favor.
Exactly. Again, to reiterate, control will be played on this map as well. So if the Lions can continue to work a 2-0 series lead, they might be able to slam them shut 3-0 here. But we are far from that as it's only 3-2. The Lives 4-2 in favor of the Zips, so might be able to punch back and get around here. But again, they're on the attack, so they need to make some plays here. We got one player, Collision, on this P2 area. He'll find one. Can he find a second? No. Big Luke will take him out, and then Big Luke will drop the bomb onto the site as well. Bigglesworth would need to do 3v1 here, which we've seen in the scouting series before, but definitely not probable.
Not probable, but if there's anybody that can do it, it's my guy. It's Sir Bigglesworth. Yeah, I mean, he's just going to slow it down, try and get around the map. Play a little bit slower, and try and confuse these guys, but he's going to run in. There's just so many angles to check. Just they see him.
Time not on its side as well, so the guns will do the talking, but if they didn't, it was certainly going to be round over. Hard to find 3 in about 10 seconds. Markel cleaning that one up. Again, keeping this map entertaining. This is one of my favorite search maps. Lots of kills going back and forth. This is probably the most I've seen the bomb actually get planted. But it all comes down to a very team-organized map. If you 4-hit something, you typically are able to take it either offense or defense.
And let's keep in mind, Lions are doing this with Shoddy still yet to get a kill.
Yep.
So that's got to be I don't want to say it's a you know, reassuring sign that Shoddy hasn't got a kill, but if Lions are keeping this close with Shoddy being pretty much a non-factor, imagine what happens if he's able to hit his right trigger.
Exactly, and every player is a bit different in their map preferences. I know for me, I love Karachi, the team doesn't, so we veto that a lot. So maybe Shoddy's just not an invasion kind of guy and kind of lucked out with the 3 other players saying, no, we'd really like to play this map. A lot of variables that are unknown, but what we do know is it's 3s galore. It's a 3v3 in round 7 to see who's going to break the 3-3 tie. Bigglesworth, as usual, has bomb. He's going to lay it here. But he's all alone. Both of his teammates are in mid, so if he gets this bomb down, his teammates are going to need to help him out very, very quickly. Collision might get somebody on the wrap here. Both players, actually, and there's going to be a quick trade there. So would have loved for Collision to get that kill a little bit quicker if you're a Lions fan. But almost a big 2 by Bigglesworth and down to a 1v1.
If he got on the bomb, he'd win, but...
A 1v1 we've seen a lot. Again, Collision having to come from Narnia as Kliz is on that bomb site. I think the smoke is down. so
past each
might be trying to draw Collision out. He's gonna have to check the bomb. But again, I just think I think the Zips kind of played themselves. They were playing 8D chess where it was really just as simple. Your opponent's on the other side of the map, just hop on and defuse.
Yeah, but it's really hard to know that. I mean, I think Cliz maybe. I like the idea of throwing the smoke but that's a gamble. You're pretty much gambling that the player is coming from from that left side, because if they come from Palace side, it's gonna go pretty much like it did, and you're just gonna lose. Collision playing a very, very strong performance at 11-3.
I think smokes overall are difficult because if you throw it out and get pushed when you're on the bomb, you're going to die. But if you throw it out and wait a little bit, somebody could come and push and you can get a free kill. Or you kind of just look stupid. I mean, I've been on both sides of that, and let me tell you, the teammates get mad when it doesn't go your way.
Right.
So a very quick flurry of kills for the Zips is Collision now looks around the map and says, hey, I'm the last line alive. I got to do something here. Shoddy is Agent 007 so far. The rest of the Zips are at least shooting back. But again, the Lions, if anybody's going to 3v1, it's going to be Collision. Can he rip Markel off the head? And he will. My goodness, what shots. And the 4 KD for Collision right here. Again, time not on his side. Having a retake in a 2v1. This A bomb site knows at least where one is. Will he catch Geo towards the back of Rugs right here? This is remained to be seen as he works his way through P1, gets shot in the back, and while it was a gorgeous kill at Palace, can't do much about that one.
It was, and good approach there from Zips. They're up a man, it's a 2v1, he has to run all the way to the other side of the map. There's no reason to take the fight to him. Just sit in your spots. This is a good angle from Geo. I like that he's taking that kind of staying off the beaten path. People don't normally sit there, I feel like. So
it was a good read. If he wrapped, it was an easy kill like it was, but if not, you know, maybe
you can still claw back and work with it in some way. It's all about putting yourself in good situations, and right there, Lions definitely, Zips definitely put themselves in a good situation. As we see going into this next round, some nades are coming in, you know, people are feeling out throughout the map. It's kind of spread out. Collision and Geo right on top of each other, but as I say that, Bigglesworth able to fire from far and take down Geo.
It seems like we've been calling Bigglesworth a lot in the kill feed and planting the bomb, but again, Collision 12-4 right now, going on a tear, whereas the Zips a lot more balanced, but they're not really too concerned because it's been working for them here for tie. Bomb gonna go down again. Lots of plants, pretty much.
Shoddy on the board.
Pretty much every round has had a plant. A big 2 piece for the Zips right there. Call it 3. So now Big Steppa in a 1v2, very doable. Knows where one is. Knows where 2 are. So let's see if the gun can do some talking here. Will he read him? Did he see him go around the corner? He's going to see the guy on the bomb, but doesn't know the other guy's behind him. And that's going to be it for the Zips. So almost great, but it's really tough when you get so much intel and just get a little bit unlucky.
Yeah, that was a great wrap from Big Luke. I mean, it's a little unlucky that Big Steppa wasn't able to shoot down Cliz, who was on the site. But with that being said, once you kind of know he's there, great job by Big Luke, wrapping all the way around P1. Able to kill Big Steppa because he's kind of locked in one spot. You know he's got to be there. So really like that play.
Exactly. So far, a fantastic map. Interested to see how the control goes. Again, staying on this map, whether one team runs away with it because it's control, or whether again it's a back and forth control. We've seen a game 5 today, so that was definitely a highlight of that series. But Big Luke gonna take the bomb, and the attacking side so far just slow in their back. Whereas the Lions are pushing up. 3 of 4 players are past the 50-yard line of this map. Shoddy staying in the back on a heady, but we're going to have a lot of gunfights in just a second right here. So let's all take a deep breath and see who falls first, because everybody, it is still 4v4, and there it is. Big Steppa gonna kill Big Luke, and I think I saw the arrow wiggle a little bit, so I think he might know bomb is down as well. And based on the minimap and all of those players collapsing in on Cafe, I think the rest of the Lions know bomb is down as well. 4v2 retake. Cliz is gonna pick the bomb up, and that nade is not gonna connect with anything. So no intel, doesn't know whether he's about to get pushed or if the player's left. Now that's a big angle from P1, and this might just fall apart. However, Cliz gonna keep it alive for just a little bit longer. 3v1, we'll have to check his right, we'll have to check his left, and hope for something to work out for him. Otherwise, we're going to around 11.
Yeah, I mean, trapped in this building, it's just a matter of time until he's taken down. Really, really great team play there on the pinch to kind of trap them in this spot. And like you said, round 11, I'm curious. I would like to see fast from the Lions. I would like to see fast. I feel like they do best when they kind of punch their face into zips.
Yeah, no, that was a very aggressive defensive round for them, especially with a lot on the line. They kind of just trusted themselves, even though hey, Shoddy might be 1-8. They really trusted and said, hey, we're just gonna go out and get them on the attack. And a good counter by Zips by just staying back and saying, hey, they're probably gonna run at us, but now it's probably gonna slow down a lot more in around 11. As you can see, all 4 Zips players working their side towards B. And again, pushed up relatively far are the Lions. Number 4, Bigglesworth, has a really big opportunity here, but he's going to get caught. So 2 guns are going to shoot him. Kliz is going to be credited with the kill. So now you fall in the round 11 after doing a lot for your team so far.
Brutal way to go. So now, right, with the advantage, Zips have a few options. They can spread out, they can take it around the map and try and play numbers, or they can up and go to a site, and that looks like what they're about to do.
They are trapped right here. You got 1 mid-cut, you got 1 on the site, and then 1 in the back watching pretty much the wrap. There's nowhere you can go without somebody knowing you're there. However, you do have the numbers, so maybe you just try to trade it. Too slow there, so trade not going to happen. And now it might be disaster for the Zips.
This kill's going to be big. First big steppa.
Yep. That might be it. Nose bombs down as well as it's right in front of him. Can Kliz find anything here? That's a huge kill, though. Kill. So that keeps everything interesting with 20 seconds left. You got 1 isolated on B, and now both are at B. So if I'm the Zips here, I have to wrap A, but they don't know that. So it's all going to come. It's
come behind him. Oh, but they're not going to look down the hallway.
It's a little ring around the rosy here. The Lions are going to be confused, but he's going to get him. And that might be it, and that is going to be.
Oh my God.
What a round 11. Slow finding the bloods, but in the end,
wow.
2v2 masterclass. Looked like both sides were absolutely done for, just milliseconds apart from each other.
I mean, that's what it is. It's milliseconds. It's COD timing at its finest. It's just literally it's just COD timing. It's everybody's running past each other. It's hectic. It's crazy. Wild.
Absolutely deflating for the Zips. Going down 2-0. Again, I can't stress it enough because I've experienced it so often in my career. Stuck on the same map where you were so close, but don't get that map count. Does that play into these players' heads? Are they going to wash it and say new map, or excuse me, new mode, so it doesn't matter? I don't know.
I mean, I hope they can wash it, but that's a tough one to lose. Especially after you lose kind of badly on hardpoint, you really want to come back and even it up. But that's a really tough one to lose, especially in the way that you did.
We're going to be loading into this invasion control very soon, seeing if a sweep could occur in the grand finals. $100 on the line. U18 College Scouting Series. We'll be right back. We're back. Map 3, potentially the final map in this grand final, seeing the Lions come out on top 3-0. Or is the beginning of a reverse sweep going to happen for the Zips? 2 stacked on the B points. The Lions are coming out really fast here. The traditional thing to do, at least in my opinion, is to 4-hit A. Not go 4 down at all, but to 4-hit A and take that harder point first. But they're just trying to get some extra time, maybe play this a little bit slower.
Yeah, and as you kind of see, the 2 kills come out, the 4 wipe, and then Zips start to spread out, start to take a lot more map control. And as we see number 8, Markel, working around to their spawn, he's just trying to keep control of where these players are coming in, where they're coming from, control their movements. If they can't get anywhere, if they can't do anything, I mean, already kind of setting up the trap here is Markel. Yeah,
Collision, I liked that play we saw just a little bit ago around P2. Just didn't have enough health to finish it, but Markel showing health's no obstacle for him as he finds 2 right there before falling. And Geo, Big Luke, 4-0 for each of them. Shoddy, again, his struggles continue. Bigglesworth with a slow start as well. And yeah, the spawn trap is locked in. This might be a round over. However, Big Steppa with a big kill right there to at least save it just a little bit longer. And with the double stack, might might be able to do it here.
You can cap B, you're also down 10 lives, so
Yeah.
you pretty much gotta just hope that you can cap B and then that you can cap A in your first push. Because you're not gonna be able to turn it on lives. Your best hope is that you can somehow win by 3 tapping.
You're only gonna get about a minute 15 seconds, if anything.
They get gunned down and they're not gonna cap it. Shoddy isn't all in the point, he's not gonna get it. He is, finds the kill in the Geo. Points be secured, but I mean, look.
10 live.
You gotta push and you gotta not lose anybody and you gotta hope that in your first break or maybe in the pick it up in the scraps, but you can't have a long fight here.
We've seen recently a 3v12 comeback in the COD League in terms of control. Let's see if we could see a 9-18. Double the amount of lives, but how much heart do they have? A 2-2 split for the Lions, all converging towards the center of this map. And a first blood is big, but again, Big Luke is bigger. So they're going to find 2. Fliz going to find another one. And it might be curtains right here with 30 seconds and not much lives going your way.
Yeah, I mean, 6 lives left. Shoddy finds a good kill, finds himself a double. Maybe they can actually get onto this point and start doing something. He's got to not die here. Geo is able to find the kill. Shoddy had to play his life and just hoped his teammates could have picked him up. But he goes down there, and that's pretty much going to wrap it up.
Gonna clear that little bit of progress they got. One is in the back, and that's who we're gonna look at. Bigglesworth is in the back by Ruggs. With 3 seconds left, he would have to fly in, and the Zips defense is not gonna break. So the Zips are gonna go up 1-0 so far, and try to get this reverse sweep started.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to try, and the Lions want to just shut it down early. They don't want to have to go into a prolonged match.
Again, defense is favored here, so not super shocking that the Zips come out on top. However, it was certainly a dominating one. B capture was big for the Lions, but again, too little, too late for them. We're going to see the Zips, again, like I mentioned, on the stronger A side. Going to try to work through Cafe and A-Bomb, and 2 of them are going to fall, so this is disastrous so far.
Really like that play, getting behind him, able to take him out as he's trying to converge on his teammate towards this A side. And again, I feel like that first push is so important to stop because there's so much momentum. If they run in and start finding kills, it's gonna be really hard to take it back. But Bigglesworth finds himself a good clutch too as people kind of flock and turn their eyes towards B.
Stoddy has plugged the controller back in, dropping 10 for his team, regaining right there, trying to bring his team back into a 3-0 win. Big Steppa is my personal favorite spot to play when you have the spawn trap in. And B is going to be open right now. A big gunfight there is going to decide where the momentum shifts, and the Zips are all systems go.
Yeah, they're going to have to keep this going. They're going to have to control. I'm interested to see the break that Lions try. If they even try, or if they just kind of give it up and say, you know what, we'll sit and we'll just hold A.
Yeah, looks like that's what they're going to do. Concede the B point. However, that is pretty early.
It is early, and they're starting to move over.
I think they realized that as well. No stack coming in, and the gunshots coming in.
That's a wipe off the point. I mean, if Shoddy can find this kill in a Geo right here, that's gonna really stymie him. He does. He doesn't find the kill, but he keeps it alive for long enough.
And again, the whole point of this is a college combine, and to see just the mini map of them backing up as kills go the way towards the Zips, that's gonna be 3 down, so they'll get right back on that B point. But to see the Lions kind of hold their position, look at the game clock, look at the tick, and be like, no, we should probably push this.
Yep.
That is just fantastic that directors should take note of. Again, these colleges not having signed these players, just being active in the Discord and using their names to promote their programs as well. But again, these colleges could very well pick up some of these players.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are playing good. Collision, having a little bit of an off game, he has, I feel like, throughout the course of this tournament, and yesterday was playing very, very well. Big Luke, another name to keep note of, 15-9, playing very good as Zips have the say control.
Zips have kind of turned this around. A hard stun on Bigglesworth. The trophy's going to help out the players in the hill. And a huge kill right there for Markel. They're starting to turn this one around. Again, we looked at the Lions retreating and giving up that B to then pounding in, trying to take it over. And now it looks like the round is lost for them. All 4 trying to come down mid, but it's not going to be enough. The Zips are fighting for their grand finals lives.
As much as we might want to go eat dinner, the Zips want to keep playing Call of Duty, and they are going to be successful in their mission Just a really great job winning gunfights. That's what that felt like. It just felt like the rotations from both teams were pretty good, but the Zips were just able to kind of close them out.
Now, we might be arguing over which dining hall to go to after this, but if you win $100 like the Zips are trying to do, you can go get a nice little steak.
You think they're gonna go do that?
Probably not. V-Bucks is probably
They
gonna
are
be
probably
there,
gonna sit at home.
Yep.
Maybe have one of their parents make them chicken nuggets.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Keep gaming for the next 8 hours. That's what these guys do.
And that's what's gonna pay for their college, so
That's
they
right.
have the
So
right
they
mindset.
do have the right mindset there. Collision finds some great kills here to as like you said, the fast A comes in and they're doing good.
Yeah, domination over A, B, typically being the easier of the two to capture, and
Good job.
Big Steppa and Bigglesworth, the B to B connection.
Yep.
Bigglesworth gonna find 2 right there. And
Good
now
trade.
speaking of B, that's where the attention shifts.
Yeah, that's a great trade. Things are going to move over, and already Collision has control. Great job here rotating over. You think it's like Hardpoint with the way that these early rows playing such an important role, but Collision with the jump shot turns around mid-cut. Luke finds 2. Gonna stop the Lions in their tracks.
Complete momentum shift, something we've seen a lot by both of these teams so far. The Zips just shutting down the Lions after really a picture perfect play. You can't draw it up any better, but the guns don't lie. The kill feed is not candy cane colored this game. It has been all Zips all day as they continue to defend this B point. However, the Lions are in. One Lion, Collision, who we're looking at right now, wrapping all the way around. Might get some great timing here. Gonna find one, needs to look to his right for the second. Not aware of that right now, though. Probably knows somebody might be coming after him. The call-out's probably there, but nothing yet as these top apps. Cliz gonna find one, and now Collision is the biggest player in question. As there's more progress on B, they're just gonna stack it. Big Luke again with a big play, saving the game so
But
far.
Collision-
And Collision comes through. Absolute highlight reel after highlight reel. Markel puts him down as we are in a blender of kills, Daniel.
There are so many things happening. Look at the lives remaining, 14 to 11. Shiny able to take down Luke and Palace, and now on the map, you got it, guys. You got to stop this control point because coming in, half the rotations, Lions are pushing in, and now Marcel and Cliz are just kind of left in no man's land. They're gonna have to keep this alive, and they do. But Bigglesworth strikes back. It's gonna keep going. Braeden.
My goodness, this is grand finals. Both of us are rapping basically the way this is going, and it looks like it might go the way of the Lions unless the Zips can get here. They need to fly, they need to go, but no, the Lions will take one back. I am out of breath, Daniel.
Holy moly. That's a crazy good job from the Lions. A back and forth play. Oh, folks, I unplugged our headset again. Doesn't matter. You can't tell though. Yeah, really strong, close play from these two teams. Lions able to come back, and you wonder, right? Because the Lions did kind of play really, really good on the first hard point. Are they starting to feel their mojo again?
Exactly, needing to come back and win 3 straight in this control, but the Zips, bit of a bigger task. They would need to win 3 straight maps. And again, after this, no more invasion. We're going to Skid Row, which I really hope we get to. As hungry as I am, that is my favorite map in the entire world. And again, candy cane is the game right now. As Shoddy can't find one with the pistol, Geo gonna sit him down. Again, the emergency sub for this grand finals has 20 to his name.
Yeah, I mean, Gio's playing really well, a name that we kind of didn't see before, but a name that could be starting to be picked up by some of these colleges. Remember, they want their 100 bones, but they also want their 40,000 bones in the name of a scholarship.
Exactly.
So that's what these guys are playing for, and it's important not to lose sight of that. Big Steppa trying to have people know his name, but Gio claps back, says, "Remember me," as Cliz finds another one on the Bigglesworth. This ace site looking like a zip.
A site almost down, and oh, if Collision didn't come through the back, it would have been. Geo with a big kill on Shoddy, Collision even bigger kill right there, and Collision's killing everything that moves, making sure only 2 ticks go the way of that, but meanwhile B is getting captured. So we got action on both sides of the map. Number 6 finds somebody in the middle, and we have we got 2 different guns getting shot and nades getting shot to kill both players.
Yeah, I mean, Collision's gonna run through mid-cut. He's gonna run into a lot of players, and he's not gonna be able to find any. It looks like the Lions are going to give up B and try to go back and just hold A, but they're gonna have to do it They're gonna have 2 minutes to try and hold A. They're down 3 lives, and all Zips needs is to win 1 fight because they only need a quarter. This is gonna be tough for the Lions.
These players are locked in and playing absolutely in their prime right now. We're having to respond in the same way, going back and forth in this map. Momentum is just not knowing where to go. It's like a tug of war right now, and both players kind of slowing down, but Bigglesworth finding 2 right there. Geo gonna trade him out, and he has to heal up. Now, Big Luke's gonna find 1 in the mid, so you got 2 players respawning for both sides as some mad dash to the A. It looks like the Zips are gonna try to funnel through mid. Collision says no. Markel says no to him. Bigglesworth finding 1 on Markel.
The Lions were down 3 in the tough lives category, but they flipped that completely on its head. Zips only has 9 lives remaining, and they aren't even getting close to this A bomb site. Lions doing a great job at splitting the map in half and not letting Zips rotate. Now they're starting to go, but it's going to be on Big Steph. Like, can he start to shoot them down as they walk towards him? Runs into B1, falls down to Markel, Geo, and now if Zips are able to combat this, they can just get on the point. And on the other side of the map, the Lions are too far away.
10-6 in favor of the Lions. They gotta go with about a minute. The stack coming in. Shoddy needs to make the game-saving play, and Big Stepper will help him
4
out.
lives remaining, that might do it.
Now the Zips cannot fall right here. They need to attack, and Lions, I'd slow down here, but the guns, they're just gonna go with it.
2,
And now the
1
impossible
left.
1v10 with a minute left to go. Can Markel bail his team out? Might find 1 here for good measure, but back
Oh my
and
God,
forth they go.
putting him through the spin cycle, taking his attention long enough for the teammate to come in to help. I mean, the Lions able to come back from what looked like a very, very losing situation to even it up at 2-2. And now, if I'm Zips, I am sweating because you know, you're feeling good. You're up 2-0, and then they win 1 map. All right, guys, we got to close it out. Then they win a second, and now it's 2-2, and these guys are playing so hot.
If I'm us, I'm sweating. I mean, we're jumping around in the studio right now. Daniel needs to take a seat. It is too much for him as we go into round 5. Again, we have a 30 bomb for Big Luke. Approaching that is Collision. And again, overall, both of these teams not really caring. They're caring about the scoreboard up top. Can the Lions attack, kind of steal 1 on this, and shut the tournament down? Say goodbye, thank you for the money, we'll see you next year. Or can the Zips start the hopes of a reverse sweep?
Big Luke trying maybe the hardest one of all these Zips players. Is 32 kills to his name. Kliz finds another one too, and I mean, look at this. Pushing on this site, trying to take it back as Zips. A lot of gunfire firing around, but Bigglesworth, Collision each find 1, and it's going to be super hard for Zips to try and retake this point. This Kliz is taken down by the Renetti.
Shoddy with the Renetti looking great as the Lions start to stack B and look to shut this down. Markel and Geo fall. Shoddy is a man on a mission, and the mission is to shut the Zips down. Kliz will find 1 as we start to calm down and strategically work our way. We got 2 minutes. Don't start throwing lives anywhere. As Big Luke just gonna push it, and unfortunate as Collision will take him down, but Collision will shoot the body. He'll find a second. My goodness, Markel helping him out, and Collision just trying to shut down Markel as well. 2 players are gonna push him. You got some covering fire, and then the player of Bigglesworth coming in to secure the deal.
I think what we're starting to see is a little bit of an inability from these players of Zips to change the pace. They're kind of stuck into this fast back and forth fight that we ourselves are kind of getting locked in, but they need to slow it down. They need to take control of the pace and bring the game back into their hands and not play on Lions' terms. But they're not going to. Shoddy's Bigglesworth. Kliz makes it happen for now, but I mean, Shoddy comes behind him, looking for the second kill. Markel pulls up the Renetti. Markel wraps around the back. Geo finds a kill, and Markel a double on the point. Wow.
My goodness, the Zips find 3 and keep their hopes alive here. We're going insane in the studio. This is peak U18 COD. This is what we've waited all day for, and it's worth not getting dinner 100%. As again, the 8 point is the focus. 17-14 lives favor the attacking team. So you can just use this minute, continue to get some kills, and hope that those respawns go away. However, Big Luke and the defense trying to get some really important rotation kills right here.
Bigglesworth again finds another one, and I mean running around everybody. Big Luke's able to find it. 15-13. Gotta keep track of the time too. 43 seconds and ticking. Lions have to group up and try and put a push together, but now, like we're saying, Zip's able to slow this down, try and bring things a little more back in their favor. Markel and Kliz on the point are just locking it down. The Lions are trying to bring it back, but they keep getting denied.
Final 30 seconds here. 12v12. All 4 players up. Now it's a 3v3 temporarily as players respawn and try to work down this A street. The Zips are focused towards mid, letting Shoddy slowly creep up and find one in laundry. The player in A will have to come and peek, but no. Instead, number 5 is going to have the middle of the map and try to get him on the way in. The shots are coming in and Shoddy's going to fall, and so does Bigglesworth. So 2 players down there, now 3, and that might be it. That is over. The Zips are coming back right here with a 3-2 victory in map 3.
If you're gonna come back, it has to start now. Zips able to claw their way back on control. It looked like the Lions were really putting all they could into that comeback. We're down 2-0, but Zips able to lock it down, and they want to keep playing another day. 40 for Big Luke from that kill. 7,000 damage to his name. Geo with 32 himself. Colleges, take note of Big Luke because he is fragging.
Big Luke currently has more non-traded kills than Big Steppa has kills in general. That was insane as we go into this hardpoint. Now, historically here today in this tournament, we have not seen a lot of very close hardpoints, but that doesn't mean that the grand finals can be any different. You and I are out of breath. We got to take a second as we are heading to Skid Row after this. Can't wait to call it. Here we are in Skid Row, my favorite map of the pool. And again, none of these hardpoints have been close, and I'm really not even paying attention to this P1. You know why, Daniel?
Why, Braeden?
Because Top Blue, P2 is where the party happens. So the Lions are going to find 3.
And Kliz is already there. I mean, 40 seconds left on P1. Kliz is just already sitting there. He's waiting, and Shoddy has the idea. He has to try and combat him.
Peek. Do not peek. That is how you get dropped from rosters. I've dropped players for peeking before. You cannot peek from top P2 unless your gun hits every bullet. You could double chow this if you want. Kliz gonna find one. Big Luke gonna find him too. And he is putting his mark. His momentum has carried in from Invasion, is coming into Skid Row as we now go to P2. 2 players up top, 1 in the middle, 1 watching ticket. I love this setup. You can now spawn trap them in tunnel if you wish. Markel gonna find 3.
The triple for Markel. Like you say, the Braeden P2 is putting P to top. Now it's gonna be Kliz, has to keep it alive, but the Lions are going to use this opportunity. They're going to know that now is their time to shine. It's going to be Kliz versus 3. Everybody's running him down, and he's going to fall. Now, all of a sudden, Zips misplay the situation, and Lions, who were able to get a lot of good time on that first point, are going to get another 40 seconds here, barring something crazy.
Nearly picture perfect for the Zips, but get a little too overzealous and give up a lot of time there. Now, Big Luke with the big plays, per usual. Kliz going to find Shoddy as well. And over to P3, where there's not a ton of time usually. Lots of getting mixy, but again, P4 is a money hill as well. So what can you do if you're the Zips here to put yourself in a position to go out and get a P4? Now, Geo teammating Kliz, that's not going to help.
No, that's really not going to help. Every life is valuable, maybe a little less so in hardpoint. Prepared to control the rest indeed, but you still can't be team killing. Shoddy's going to run around, get killed by Big Luke, who's looking for more. Traded out by Bigglesworth, though. I really enjoy this P3. I think it's an interesting spot where a lot of good fights can happen. I like the headies, I like the barrels, the dumpsters, and I mean, I love the ability to rotate around. We're seeing some good rotations and wraps here from Zips.
Another Geo to Kliz. This is the most common gunfight, or excuse me, nade fight we've seen. The only problem, they're on the same team, trying to battle back. They're going to take a lead here, but again, P4 is where we need to focus. Number 7 and number 8 know that as well, but Bigglesworth knows it even more. Gonna wrap through apartments, a play I've been instructed to do myself. That's where the AR goes, and you can see him cut one down right there. Big Luke and Markel gonna fall, and now they're gonna spawn in front of P5, P2 area. So they'll come down the tunnel, but a great read by Shoddy. You can't teach that. That is spawn recognition that the player has to take initiative and know. Colleges write that name down. Shoddy knows Skid Row.
Shawnee knows Skid Row and Zips, though, they want to say something too. They don't want to go down this easy on this P5 into this shot. Bigglesworth playing smart angles, whiffing a lot on Geo, pulls out the Renetti. Oh my goodness, that would have been the whiff of the century, but unfortunately, I mean, it still happens and it hurts him. He only finds one. Now, the reinforcements from Zips starting to flood in on this point. It's going to be contested. They're just going to wait for reinforcements to come in. Everybody coming in from every angle. Zips wrapping around. Lions find the kills.
About a quarter of the way through this one, and it's been very close. Gunfights coming back and forth. This is a sub-favored map, or excuse me, hill, as Markel and Big Luke show that off. The battle now starts to go down the tunnel towards the construction site of P5. Geo losing a brutal power position, and now all the Lions are swarming.
Yeah, the Lions are swarming, and they're going to start with control on this point like we've been talking about with P2. It's not important just on the points there, but also as a spot so good. Height is so important. Being able to oversee this whole point, look at tunnels, look at the point. I mean, Collision is just going to feast up there. Collision
playing top P2 will find the one in garage. Maybe got a little help from his teammate. Markel will fall as the aim assist doesn't help you through the fence. Shoddy firing back through the fence and knocking a trophy system down. As again, we got a 20-point game, can turn this into an entire hill game if they hold the 60, and so far so good for the Lions as the P2 in hill ticket and garage setup is just textbook, and that's what they're trying to run away with.
Yeah, they're just trying to stick to their guns, stick to what they know. These maps, well, right, we've been talking a lot of new maps. COD players specifically have to work with a lot of new things, but these map, what doesn't change is height, is good spawns, is rotating early, and that's kind of what Zips is doing here. They're going to be down 50 points, and they're going to try and get a lot in on this P1, but what comes after P1, Braeden?
P2, and that is where the battle begins. However, if you're down about 50, if you're Zips, you'd like a fresh 60 on P1, and again, you gotta focus P2, as that's where number 3 is going. We can see Big Steppa start to go, but he's gonna go up the stairs. But all of the Lions are going to go up the God stairs and push out this P1, knowing that they can't let the Zips tie this up, because one random gunfight in P2, and that's a free 60. Big Luke taking matters into his own hands before he falls. Shoddy finding one. Geo will trade him out, and now we begin to go to P2.
Yeah, people are starting to flow into this point. It's where the matches are won and where the matches are lost. Zips are going to pretty much get a full 60 on this point, but Lions are going to say, okay, you know what, that's fine. We're going to take P2, and we're going to hope that we can get a full 60 on that one as well. Remember, Zips are down in the series, so Lions are playing to shut this down, whereas Zips are trying to come back with a reverse sweep.
Both teams need a minute and a half more of hill time to secure the game. However, this might be the turning point in the game. P2, you have the setup you like. You have somebody on graffiti, you have somebody in garage, somebody watching tunnel, and of course, one in P2. Can the Zips read it? Can the Zips maybe double something, try to chow someone out? They're going to work on the P5 side. Shoddy has tunnel on lock, and that is going to be 2 down for the Zips, just making this harder and harder to attack. Bigglesworth is feeling kind of important right here, wants to take the fight.
It's going to be just him. Bigglesworth is going to get run down. Can he keep it alive?
He will try to, again, getting help from Shoddy, and one from Tunnel. Markel, what a kill, but it's not going to matter in the end. They did make that one interesting. However, the majority of the time did go to the Lions. Now let's see who's going P3. Collision is going to start working over there, and that's a big kill on Big Luke. It's going to be him and number 8. However, number 8's going to work his way back through mid, and now number 2 is all alone at P3. We might see the Zips start to fall apart here.
Yeah, the Zips just have to make sure that they keep this going, that they keep it up. Collision with that rival line, hiding on P3. No, look to your right. Big Luke is there. Big Luke dropped 40 last map, 17-17, leading the scoreboard here in the KD status for the Zips. But on the other side, you have some people who are fragging out, and they want to end this map right now.
We can see a lead change here, but no matter what, it is a guarantee that maybe a hill and a half is going to decide this game. Bigglesworth tells him to sit down. Will he find the second? He won't. Big Luke is just that guy, and we look towards P1. The P1 entrance, top mid, where subs are severe up here. 2 Lions kills right there. Big Luke going to try to get the trap. Big Luke, what are you doing? You killed 2 right there, and oh my god, another one before he gets traded out. What a map.
Luckily, Shoddy able to be the last one there and keep it alive. Pulls out his gun, gets caught between rock in a hard place. He's going to finally go to Markel. Yes, turns around. Geo flies in for he's taken out by Big Step. But got to get on this point. The time is ticking. Going to New is rotating over it. But look, everybody's kind of realizing to go to New. But Bigglesworth is going to be stuck between a lot of players.
Big Luke is new, and he is not new to big kills, and he'll find one on cue. Right there. 2 for the Zips. Make it 3. Big Luke is taking over. He wants the 25 for himself. He wants the 100 for his team, and we could see a potentially massive lead change. However, we know it gets mixy when it comes to P5, especially in close games. Some spawns get funky and things like that. Collision trying not to let the game go that far. Geo and Kliz gonna find 2. Kliz gonna find another one. Big Luke doing Big Luke things. Take over, Daniel.
Yeah, anything can happen here. Now we're gonna start to move over to P5. Things are about to get crazy. Collision finds 1. Zips are on the comeback. They do have this point. They are getting in some massive time. We might see a lead change come in, but no. Zips are going to rotate over to P5, and the Lions are going to be able to pick up this scrap. But on a fight, top P2, Kliz is able to take down Big Step, and he's going to have a power position as everybody starts to converge on P5.
Bigglesworth playing the cans and not going to work out for him. The Zips work their way in and can potentially go huge here. 26 needed for the Lions, so it can be done on this hill, but you could also lose on this hill if the Zips keep it up. Through the fence. Aim assist not going to help. Geo a huge kill right there, though. And Collision trying to get the guy off P2. Shoddy will help him out. But again, still, you got to go. You can lose right here, but you can also win if some of the kills line up. Any squad wipe for either team is game. There's half a squad right there. The Zips might have this. They're killing. Big step of Bigglesworth. Want it more, I guess. Again, we can still see the game end here. It is a nail biter. Bigglesworth gets them off the hill, and now the Lions have to rotate. They cannot win on this.
Zips
This will be decided P1.
Zips got to go New. They got to, if they can lock down these apartments, remember, all they got to do is stay on it for 14 seconds, and then they win this game. The Lions cannot win picking up this scrap time, and Zips are going to be in this apartment, and they're going to lock in as the Lions try and come in and take it back.
An exactly tie game. Big Luke doing Big Luke things. That's 2 for the Zips, trying to extend this to a game 5. A huge kill from Bigglesworth, though. He has to work in. Geo will get him around the back. 7 seconds remaining for the Zips. Shoddy gonna find 1. Geo gonna find another. Shoddy again. And it's a candy cane kill feed. 2 seconds needed for the Zips. Can they find it here? Kliz just slowing it down and having the contest. He's gonna get hit out by 2. And the Lions have control right here. 10 seconds left. 240, 248. They know where they're spawning. And it might be over. 5 seconds left for the Lions. Can they come through with huge kills?
Kliz, he's trying his best, but Bigglesworth is able to shut 2 down. Now it's Geo. Can he find him? No, he's going to go down 2, but Zips just continuing to throw bodies
Oh my God.
The clock is ticking away. 2 seconds, 1 second.
It's over. And the Lions with a relatively large comeback in that back P1, and 250 to 248 is your final. The series is over, and I am working up a sweat.
Absolutely amazing play from the Lions. That was maybe the scrappiest P1 on Skid Row that I have ever seen in my life. $100 go to Lions. That is Shoddy, Collision, Big Steppa, and Bigglesworth. My guy dropping 30. Shoddy dropping 30 as well. Don't forget about the other team, though. Big Luke trying his absolute hardest, but the Lions are going to come away on top. The champions of the U18 College Combine. Great.
My goodness, what a weekend we've had. I've had a blast with you. I've had a blast with the production crew helping us out and making this event amazing. I know the recruitment team and the entire front office of the U18 League has worked very hard on this, and I'm so happy we could finish it off with a series like this. 3-1 the way of the Lions, but overall we all know it was very close. 3-1 doesn't begin to describe the series at all. And my goodness, these players have some clips. These players probably have some DMs waiting on them. And again, I've had a blast. Thank you to all of the colleges who helped, make this a reality and promote their programs in our Discord. And any directors out there who haven't, I highly recommend you get in the Discord, start talking to players and things like that. So those colleges are, of course, us on behalf of Syracuse, Mars Hill, LSU, EMU, Oklahoma Christian, Akron, and Shenandoah. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you for helping out with the U18 scene and promoting young talent. And as we saw, there's a lot of talent to
There's
show.
a lot of talent to show. Again, a big thank you to all the players who competed, to Ryder, who is doing the production today, also the U18 COD head of operations. This has been a wonderful event, and hopefully this is just the start of something great as for the U18 space, as kind of a lot of people start to care a lot more about esports, which is always a good thing.
A big season coming up in the U18 league. Lots of teams trying to get involved, lots of orgs trying to get involved. If you're a player and aren't signed up yet, what are you doing? You need to be shown at this big stage. We've seen a lot of players go on to do a lot of big things, and this is just the start. Again, I've been Braeden, or BCL, COD captain for Syracuse, joined by my very talented co-host, DannySalads, caster for Syracuse. We've had a blast all weekend. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.